Right, so I don't know where there's anybody in here, and if you can hear me, okay, because I don't know whether hold on, they're not on, are they? Just hold on a sec. Oh God, how do I get these on now? Okay, oh no. What's happened there? Oh, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh God, can you still hear me? If anyone's there, can you still hear me? I set up a live on my phone. I had to delete the live on the phone and come and do one here so I could speak on the laptop. That's why I've just had to message you, Liz, because you must have all had the bell thing, you know, that reminds you on the other one that I deleted. So now you can hear me okay, but I think that's coming through the laptop. So I need it to come through. Hold on, I need it to come through the headphones, so I can't see a thing, you know. So hold on. So why is it going there? Why? Okay, so is that? Oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered with all this techno stuff. Right, so hang on, let's see if you can hear me through these now. Now you can't hear none of that, can you? So it's not coming through the headphones. So does it go? It goes in the. Hang on. I'm so sorry about this. I am really trying my best. Oh God, why does everything have to be so hard? Now it's flashing, but I think that's only when you're pairing it with Bluetooth. Oh, can anyone hear music? Oh no, it's just me. Just bear with me, everyone. Just give me a few minutes because I don't know what's going on here. Oh God. This is absolutely hopeless. I'll just have to leave them off because so you can hear me okay. Everyone can hear me. If you just let me know and then I can tell you what happened to me today. So let's see who's in. So you've got Cheetah Brosnan, if she's still there. She was first in before the live started, I think. Yeah, I'm terrified to go off this page. You can hear me. Hiya, Pink. Good to see you, girl. You too, Liz. Yeah, all good. You can hear me okay. Well, this is just literally through the laptop. So I don't know how the hell these are supposed to work. Because I've got Bluetooth headset, but I'm not using the Bluetooth. They're wired at the minute. And as far as I know, if you go to the right, that's for the Bluetooth. And the other way, I presume. Hang on, let's see if you can hear me now. Tell me if you can hear me any better with these on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was there any difference? Same. Okay, I haven't got a clue, so I'll just leave them off. So today, okay, goes to Sainsbury's, gets a few bits. My son's waiting in the car with the dog. So I had to pick flowers up because it's my dad's birthday today and we go to the cemetery. So on the way to the cemetery, about 2 minutes from Sainsbury's, we're going up the road and my son went, Mum, can you smell that? And I went, what is it? And I went, I never took much notice. And I went, oh my God, what's that? And he turned around and he went, Mum, Mum. I went, what? He said, the dog shit on the back seat. I went, what? Oh, you're joking? He said, the dog shit. Well, I'm going, you naughty girl, because she's never ever done anything like this before. And when I got the car, because it's like the faux leather seats, I thought she's going to ribbon that with her nails. So I bought a back seat cover and I was made up with it. Fits like a glove, brilliant. And the next thing, oh Lizzo, honest to God, listen to this. The next thing, Iran, I said I said I'll have to wait till I get to the cemetery. He's going, Mum, you're not waiting till you get to the cemetery. I can't. And he's going, so he starts that. I'm going, I'm walking with him, opening the windows. I went, oh my God, I'm going to crash. So we had to pull up in a side street. Well, he's going, oh, Mum, it's diarrhea. It's diarrhea. I went, oh, I can't bear my life. Never had a tissue or anything in the car because the car's only new and it hasn't got all the shit in it just yet. Well, it did have shit in it, literally. But, tissues and crap around the car, nothing. So thank God we had on her lead, she had one of those little poo bag holders. So he's got his hand in the bags and he's scraping. Oh my God, I've got the smell up my nose still. I can't cope telling you. He's scraping all the poo. Oh my God. Ooh. And he's telling me, he's going, but I'm going, oh my God, don't show me. He says it's all over the back. So I added a big floor cushion that she lies on in the back of the car. Oh my God, I feel ill. And he said, Mum, it's all over that. So she must have absolutely. So she was jumping up to me at the beginning. And I thought she was just wanting to look out the window. So she must have been trying to tell me. And we blamed her yesterday. So we stops the car. He had to throw the cushion in this big, massive bin that was in the street. He's getting up as much as he can. So one of the girls I know lived about 3 streets up. So I phoned her. I went, Sharon, are you in? She said, yeah. I went, have you got any baby wipes and anything? So I told her, she's in a heap. Ryan's in a heap. Both of them are laughing. I'm going, it's not funny, Ryan. I've got shit all over my fingers. Oh, it was awful. It was on the lead. I went to unplug the dog's lead to get it off here. And as I did, she went to move and at my hands, it slid all down my hands. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. So gets to Sharon, she come out with a big soapy bucket of water, and we were cleaning all the back seat and that. It smelt lovely by the end it finished. But I tell you what, guys, if you've got a dog, because she's almost 9 and she's never done that in the car, and that saved my car seat. I'm telling you, I forget how much it was. I don't know whether it's $12.99 on Amazon, Best Buy. I tell you, brilliant. But we laughed then after that because it was just awful. So then we go to the cemetery, does what we've got to do. Coming back, we were terrified in case she'd done it again. Because I never thought of the worming tablet. It was when I come back, Alex said, well, she had a worming tablet, didn't she? I went, oh, God, never thought of it. But it was all over the place. It looked like melted chocolate. It was terrible. Terrible. What's that? Oh my God, reminds me of going out with mine to Sculpture Park and walking past the picnic area and mine wasn't and had diarrhea. I was trying to scream. Liz, that's what we were like off the back seat. He was going, Mum. I was going, just scrape it, get it in as much as you can, and put your hands inside the bag and scoop it. So he's going, you make it was, and as he was being sick, I was being sick. Oh my God, Neil. It was terrible trying to scrape up shit. I thought if it had been a normal shit, you know what I mean? You just picked it up dead quick, give the back seat a little wipe until you get home and then spray it with some Dettol. Oh, no, it was the worst shit I've seen in my life. I thought, no, you've shit like no one's business there. So the cushion went in the bin. So honest to God, because it wasn't one of them. Even if you did scrape it off the cushion, that you could throw it in the washing machine, because it wasn't one of them types. It didn't come off. And I hope these Americans can understand me if they're here, because the way I'm talking fast, I don't even know who's in. How do I go and see? I've got the camera covered with a piece of black tape, because we don't know how to turn the camera off. I can't get into According to Leanie on StreamYard on here, only through YouTube. So what I'm going to Alex said, what you need to do is get Leanie to delete you from everything and start again. I said, oh my God, have I got to go through this again? Worst time of my life. But you know what? I tell you what, I couldn't believe my life today with that shit. It was terrible. Who's in? Pink, have you got a dog? Because I have never had that in my life. Poor Jessie Pink saying I was going, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. You shitting in the car. She was looking at me as if to say, not my fault. I was trying to let you know. She was like, but I was just taking it as she was excited in the car. Anyway, you sound great and I'm clear. Well, shall I give it 5 minutes and see if we're lucky enough to get anyone else in and start reading? Do you know what, Makisa put the telly on for the dog so she can see the picture? She doesn't even look at it. But I just think, well, it's on, so she might get a bit bored listening to me, because she must sit listening to me all day going on and on and on and on. So we're just having me little swig. I've already had my cuppa. Should have really made one, didn't I? Oh, sound really clear. Yeah, where's Lunchy? I did send her a message to say, because I thought I'm going to need some of the mods. So I messaged you just now, as you know, and I messaged you just now. I said, I'm going live now. So when I looked, I went, oh God, I'm going live now. I was going to say 5 minutes. I thought I had 5 minutes. Pink fan, yeah, Shih Tzus, never book car. Oh, I've got, how many Shih Tzus have you got? She's a Shih Tzu, Pink. How many have you got? Oh, we are, here's Lunchy, she's in. She's in. Oh, every time I see a sunflower, it reminds me of her, honest to God. And she got gorgeous flowers yesterday for a wedding anniversary with a sunflower. Oh, it was lovely. As soon as I see a sunflower, it's here to me. So has anyone had a good day? Any tales to tell? Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, Shih Tzu, all right. Shih Tzu. I'm looking at her now. She's in between my ankles. I've got my feet up here on the puffy, and she's in between my ankles. Never far away from me. Are you, boo? Eh? Never far away from me. Where's my girl? Where is she? Oh, she's gorgeous, you know. Look at her. Wish I could show you me crochet, what I'm doing. Just for something to show you. I'm going, oops. Near had no crochet then. All the box with all my hooks in as near fell over. Does anyone else crochet? I learnt off YouTube a few years back. I just bought tip, and I remember years ago this old lady, when I was only a kid, used to shout out of a flat window. I mean, imagine this, you're only a kid of about 11. And she shouts out, hi, you're all right. I think now she must have known me mum. And I went, yeah, I'm okay. And she says, yeah, I'd love to teach you to crochet. Would you like to learn to crochet? Little old woman. And I went, oh no, thank you, like that. And you know what? I'd give anything now to have learned to be taught by an old lady, because some of the stuff they make with the very, call it spider web cotton, oh my God, it's amazing, some of the shawls they do. And I used to say to my mum, this woman wants to teach me to do crochet. She went, who is she? And I went, I don't know. My mum went, no, what do you mean? Could have been anyone. And my mum went, ah, She's only how lazy. She won't do you any harm, love. She probably just wants a teacher. Sitting there thinking, oh, I'd love to teach that little girl. Now, if that was me now and my kid come in, I'd be going, who's this woman? I just want to go and know who it was. You know what I mean? I think my mother would have been made up. She'd run away with me. I can crochet around a scarf for the table, but that's it. Well, do you know what, Anne? You know, if you can crochet that, you can crochet anything. Trust me. The easiest thing to crochet is a never-ending granny, honest to God, a granny square. You just go round and round and round and round until you get to your corners, and you'll know. You just do your corner stitch with your double up on it, do exactly the same but double, and just go round and round. And you seem to think, oh, it's dead little, and before you know it, you've got this big blanket. Honestly, stick with it, Anne. Go on YouTube and put on crochet for beginners. Honest to God, love, if you can crochet that, you can crochet anything. And this is the time, I think, because when winter comes, that's I do crochet in winter. I never really do it. I never pick it up that much in the summer. I would rather be on the step or whatever. And you go on the step and you don't get 2 minutes, all the neighbours. So I can't crochet and not look at it, you know what I mean? I can take my eyes off it, but not a lot. But yeah, so this is my time coming up now to do all my crochet. So what's that, Lunchy? I want to crochet those little animals you do. Oh, the I can't even say it. The amigu, oh God, amiguramis or something like that, aren't they? Now they don't appeal to me at all. But they're easy to do. You use the thick, like we call it cloud yarn, because it's very it's nice and thick, isn't it, and soft. It's done in like what's it called, like a chenille feeling. Yeah. Honest to God, have you ever crocheted before, lunch lady? Have you ever done it? Anyone who's interested in it, honest to God, go on YouTube. Pink, go do knit. See, I could only ever knit a line, knit one, pale one, stuff like that. I could do a scarf, and at the beginning, the scarf would be dead like wide, and then it go dead thin, then dead wide. I keep dropping my stitches, but crochet is so easy. But saying that, I can't. I can make a cardigan if I'm watching, but I couldn't make a cardigan without, like, I can do blankets with my eyes closed. I can make ponchos with my eyes closed, baby hats, little dresses. I want to try and make little shoes. They only look easy, but they're quite fiddly. Yeah, I can make baby hats and all that. What's that? Same. Never actually knit to a pattern. Oh, couldn't. Do you know what? I couldn't follow a pattern. I can look at something pink and think, oh yeah, I know. You know, if someone's got something and I'm looking and I go, oh yeah, I can make that. Like one time I seen a hat on eBay, a baby's hat, and it looked relatively easy. So I thought, you know what, if I got that and just seeing what was what. So I bought it. It was only £2. And I just followed that and it was really easy. Yeah, with the ruffles from the 80s, the little I've made one of them. The bonnet, like a bonnet. Do you mean lunchy, like a bonnet? You pull it on and you tie it under your chin, and it's like ruffles. We used to put marabou feather all the way around. But I've made one. I've made one of them. I'll have to show you the picture. I wonder if I'll send it to you now on your phone, on your messenger. Let's see. Let me get my messenger up to send you. Hold on, girl. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm all up the wall. And just see. Let's see if I can get it up on here. Oh, God. I don't know what to do. Do you know what? I don't know why all my pictures aren't coming up. I can't find anything. That's an update. Every time I get an update, that's it. It's all over. Can't find nothing. Why is it doing that? Hang on. I've had to come out today. I've got to go into pictures. So now I type. Hang on. Search, yeah, search. Crochet. Here we go. No, that's no. Yeah, okay. So, how do I send this to you now? Oh, God in heaven, hold on. See, I'm no good. I'm no good at all. How the hell do I do that? It's just that. Put that in there. I think I'll have to do it after. I can't do it. I'll do it after the live. Sorry about that. But I think, what's that? I can't knit or crochet or sew to save me life. Oh, sewing. You want to see my straight lines? Sound terrible. Terrible. But honest to God, I swear down, if I can crochet, anyone can. And I mean that. If you look for the beginners, go to Bella Coco. She's good. And you know, when they show you from the word go, just go in for a granny square blanket, and they're the best, easiest thing to make. And if you can make a granny square blanket, you can make a poncho. Honest to God, swear down. Anyway, suppose we want to crack on and read this book. Is there anyone in? We got anyone in? So that's good. We've got, oh, there was 7 people in then. So now there's 6, and we've got 7 likes. Oh, that's good. So here we go. So I'll get the book. Hold on. So I can't. Oops. Hang on. Oh, wait. I'd love to cross stitch. And you sound like me. I can fix anything computer wise and electrical. I wish you were here because me and Alec will kill each other over this laptop. I just can't describe what I'm trying to say. It's showing me the channels, like Leonie's channel. And then you click it and it says reconnect. And then you click reconnect. And it asks, I forget what it asks me, but it doesn't work. Anyway, let's crack on with little Maddie Egg. We all ready? You all got a drink? A ciggy, a cup of tea, a ciggy, piece up, couple of little sweets. Oh, you know, I wish you were here. Wish you were here, girl. Do you know what? I used to be able to use the laptop, but obviously I'm talking a long time ago, years and years ago now. So since we got the phones, I've never gone near one or a computer. I know how to turn them on. That's about it. Right, so got my vape and my coffee. Let's go lunchy. Everyone's ready. Okay, so what one was we on there? God, didn't know we were on number 8. The birth of our campaign, it's called. We were existing in an information vacuum. Oh, trust me. Need to lower the telly. I can hear it in the background. So it might pick up. Put it on for the dog, didn't I? We were existing in an information vacuum. A big part of the problem was the fact that in Portugal, all criminal cases are governed by the law of judicial secrecy, which means that once an investigation is underway, neither the police nor anyone else is allowed to reveal anything about it, including details of potential suspects, on the basis that this could jeopardize a trial. Even the statements and appeals we made, quite usual in the UK, were not something the police advocated. Oh, well, that just shows you, doesn't it? Of course, this was torture for us. The British media were not accustomed to it either. For those familiar with police and court reporting in the UK, the Portuguese system is a hall of mirrors, as one reporter described it, but nothing can be confirmed on the record, and the police often don't bother to contradict false reports or rumours. Although it wasn't apparent to us at the time, because the police were not guiding the press, particularly the international press, no agenda was being set. This left the media with a free rein and would soon lead to speculation on a massive scale and the broadcasting and printing of erroneous facts in the interests of filling column inches and airtime. It is incredible looking back how much could be said with so little hard information available. In the first few days after Madeleine's abduction, the media general were very, very respectful, and their coverage was largely sympathetic. Aside from when we were delivering a pre-arranged statement, we were pretty much left alone. Yet, although there didn't seem to be very much happening in terms of the investigation, the media presence grew. This was very surprising to us, and we've always been at a loss to understand why our story attracted quite such unprecedented attention. Obviously, the circumstances were extremely rare, a British child being abducted on holiday. The only other such case we knew of was that of Ben Needham, who had been snatched 16 years earlier from a Greek island at the age of 21 months and who still hasn't been found. The world had changed dramatically since then, particularly in the terms of communications. In 1991, the internet and mobile phones had been in their infancy, and there were no 24-hour news channels to be fueled. The fact that Jerry and I were both doctors seemed to make the story more newsworthy, as no doubt did the fact that Madeleine is such a beautiful little girl. We came in for some criticism, of course, for leaving the children in the apartment while we had dinner. Some initial reports were very misleading, suggesting that we had been sitting several hundred metres away. Journalists who were actually in Praia de Leu and saw the proximity of the tapas restaurant to the apartment as the crow flies, just under 50 metres, a little further walking round the roadway. We were clearly shocked that Madeleine had been grabbed at such close quarters, and we were given the definite impression that they wanted to help. This also went for their bosses, the TV executives and newspaper editors. There was unquestionably a sense of they're both for the grace of God. I looked on them as allies in the search for Madeleine, and although I don't doubt that many of them did generally want to help, it was a while before I realised that finding our child came some way down their list of priorities, and learned the hard lesson that the media are not about spreading news, but selling products. Their overriding concern was not ours, or sadly Madeleine. It was someone shouting down the phone that the editor needed 800 words by 10 o'clock. For the first few days after Madeleine was taken, with the apartment full of people, the English language news from Sky or BBC was on pretty consistently in the background. We saw quite a bit of coverage ourselves, but once the speculation mushroomed, it crucified us. Jerry said to me, "We've got to stop watching this." We also began to avoid the English newspapers readily available from Baptista on the same day, and the same day as they was published at home. In the village, drivers had to find alternate routes and parking places because of the roadblocks outside our apartments and the satellite trucks stationed permanently nearby. Reporters hung out in the Baptista and a Hugo Beatty bar or trawled the beaches, assailing locals and holidaymakers alike for quotes and soundbites. On the plus side, it became apparent very quickly that Madeleine's plight had struck a chord with huge numbers of the British public. Messages of support, sympathy and empathy came flooding in. Mark Warner's email was bombarded soon after the news broke, and hundreds of letters were arriving on a daily basis. The first grueling week was so hectic and seemed so long. The unrelenting agony made every minute feel like an hour. But for us, the days literally were too long, and we slept so little. By midweek, we were starting to manage. Through sheer exhaustion a few hours sleep every night. If I happened to wake up, that would be it until morning. The moment I opened my eyes, Madeleine was the first thing there, and I would be instantly aware of a painful heaviness in my chest and an unsettling dread. I was always awake by 6 a.m., and usually I would get up, go out onto the veranda, and make a few phone calls. Nobody at home was sleeping well either. I had begun to eat a little too, though nowhere near enough. Reports of my weight loss were greatly exaggerated. In the first week, I did lose 4 pounds, which I could ill afford, and which it took me months to regain. Is the sound okay, everyone, before I go any more? Sorry, girls, I know you're probably sitting back. Brilliant. Okay, Liz. But nowhere near the stone removed from me and some of the press. I have always been thin. It's the way I'm made. There were days when I would say to myself, how can I sit here, eat breakfast when Madeleine's missing? Or how can I possibly take a shower? But somehow I did. As Jerry kept telling me, crumbling into a heap and doing nothing will help Madeleine like that. He was right, of course, but there would be many crumbles along the way. We spent so much time closeted with various advisors that we didn't see much of our holiday friends except for Fiona. She knew us and our children so well, she understood, as far as anyone else could understand, and that made her support very important to me. I bumped into the others at the tapas area one day. They were standing there helplessly, and Jane and Russ were crying. Soon we were all crying and hugging each other. It was just awful. On Tuesday, the 8th of May, we said an emotional goodbye to the family and the friends that we will leave behind, who were leaving us, including my parents and Jerry's mum. It was so sad, but we all knew it was for the best. I went down to sit on the beach for a while with Fiona. I still felt oblivious to everything around me. Nothing whatsoever mattered except Madeleine. We talked and cried and held on to each other. It was like a horror movie that refused to end. But this was my life now, until Madeleine was found. I feel I have read that, before. As we were walking up from the beach about 5 p.m., I had a call from Sherry Blair. Oh no, I don't remember that. In her final days as wife of the Prime Minister, her husband Tony would announce his resignation 2 days later and leave office the following month. She was kind and helpful. She told me it was amazing, but encouraging that Madeleine was still the first topic on the news every night. This was only 5 days after the abduction. As it turns out, our poor daughter would continue the headline, the bulletins for some time to come. Sherry also warned me, whatever happens, your life will never be the same again. She mentioned that a friend of hers, Catherine Mayer, was the founder of PACT, Parents and Abducted Children Together, and said she would get in touch with her on my behalf. Doubtless, I asked Sherry if there was anything the British government could offer the Portuguese in the way of resources to assist or expedite the search for Madeleine. It wasn't my intention to make her feel uncomfortable by asking this, and I'm sure I didn't. We were just so desperate. I couldn't let the opportunity go by. We had been given a key to the church so that we could go there and pray whenever we wished. We cherished these little oases of relatively peace and solitude. One night, early in the week, I think it was that Tuesday evening, while we were praying privately, Jerry had an extraordinary spiritual experience. He suddenly became aware of a long tunnel with light at the far end of it. He felt himself enter the tunnel and he went deeper and deeper inside. It became wider and wider and brighter and brighter. He had never known anything like this before, and he immediately interpreted it as a sign urging us to do absolutely everything within our power to find Madeleine ourselves. From that moment, he was convinced that we did not have to sit back passively issuing statements and waiting for others to bring it home. We needed to take the initiative straight away. We shared this with the revelation with me, and I tried to explain what it meant to him. We had to start right now to mobilise all the resources available to us. His vision, I don't know what else to call it, in the beautiful little church, and had a huge impact on Jerry. It was this experience that laid the foundations of our organised campaign to find our daughter. From the minute he got up the next morning, Jerry was on a mission. Among the first people he spoke to was the ambassador, John Buck. The Foreign Secretary, Margaret Becker, also happened to call him. He pleaded with them both to try to improve the way the investigation and the search was being handled. We needed to be far better than this, he told them. They knew that too. Many friends and colleagues also heard from Jerry that day, asking them to think hard. What could help us find Madeleine? Who could help? Think about your contacts, then think about the contacts of your contacts. Can they help? Jerry's mobile phone appeared to be permanently attached to his ear the whole day. I can remember even feeling slightly irritated that he was able to function in this way and to be so busy, while his pain for Madeleine was not crippling him as mine me. He was simply responding to the challenge he'd set himself. That evening, he was simply oh God. He was simply, okay. He'd set himself that evening before we to leave no stone unturned. A phrase that became a rallying cry after he used it in a statement to the press at the end of that week. I will forever be immensely proud of him and thankful for his determination, effort, and sheer hard work so early on, when we were both still raw and reeling. Although the ultimate goal of all his work hasn't so far been achieved, there is no doubt that we and Madeleine would have been in a much worse place without it, and who knows what it might yet yield. There were so many people, our family and friends in particular, who desperately wanted to help. Jerry's call to arms spurred them into action, and gradually they began to pursue their own avenues. The very next evening, Jerry's sister Phil sent a chain email around the world asking every recipient to help find a little girl. It came with a downloadable poster featuring a photograph of Madeleine, the one of her holding the tennis ball, taken 2 days before she vanished. This led the following day to the first conversation between Phil, a teacher, and Callum McRae, a former pupil of hers and an IT whiz kid, about establishing a website for Madeleine. John Corner had opened up the file transfer protocol he'd set up on the 4th of May to circulate Madeleine's image to family, friends, and other supporters. No, I didn't know what one of those was either. Basically, it provided access via a password to a repository for photographs and other material, allowing people to share. Sorry, just got to go past loads of photos now. People to share resources. Helpers could post their material on a dedicated server via the FTP and use that supplied by others to create flyers, posters, and so on. The press already had the password, which gave them access to pictures and video footage. Already, there were people and organisations coming forward with offers of a reward for information leading to Madeleine's safe return. We heard that a colleague of mine in general practice had amazingly pledged 100,000. A good friend in Liverpool, a police officer, warned us that we would need a great deal more than this to tempt anybody connected with the crime to give Madeleine up. It seemed a huge sum of money to us, but being a policeman, he was more used to dealing with criminals than we were. Alex Wolfall told us that the News of the World spearheading a group of other benefactors, including Bill Kenwright, the theatre impresario and the chairman of Everton FC, and the businessmen Sir Richard Branson and Sir Philip Green, and Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling was preparing to put up a reward package totaling 1.5 million. It would involve companies such as British Airways, Vodafone, helping with publicity and awareness initiatives. They needed to know by the following day whether we would like them to proceed. This may sound like a no-brainer, but we had to be careful. We hadn't a clue how much rewards worked. Would the police be involved? Who would coordinate any ransom negotiations? How would we actually get hold of all this money, if necessary? And most importantly, what were the potential pitfalls? Surely it could lead to fraudulent claims that we might waste valuable time and resources. We had no idea either what implications this might have for Madeleine's safety. Under pressure to make a decision, we solicited advice from various quarters, which confirmed that this kind of thing could indeed be a bit of a double-edged sword. We felt that on balance the pros outweighed the cons, thanked all participants and accepted the offer, as much because we did not want to turn down any corporate help or anything else. With the 100,000 from my GP colleague and a staggering 1 million added by Stephen Wynyard, the owner of Stobo Castle Spa in the Scottish Highlands, and a man who had so far never ever met us, the reward promise now totaled 2.6 million. I went with Nikki to an Anglican service at the church, which the Catholic and Anglican community shared with their services and celebrations. I remember there was a film crew inside the church. How this came to be allowed, I have no idea. I have always considered a church to be a sanctuary, a function that is especially important in times of personal difficulty. But everyone was trying their best to do the right thing, and I'm sure it was with their best intentions. Unfortunately, I wasn't holding up too well, and having to put up with a giant camera lens pointing at me even here added greatly to my agitation. Around the first anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance, I saw some footage of me coming out of the church after the service, and I barely recognised myself. Nick was practically having to carry me, and she's only 5'3". By contrast, in the following weeks and months, it would be subjected to cruel comments describing me as cold and poker-faced. Had these critics not seen the television pictures? Or is it that people have short and selected memories? Is it true that as I grew a little stronger, I was better able to control my grief in public? I was also terrified to show my emotions after the warnings I'd been given that this might influence Madeleine's abductor. So if I seem poker-faced, is it any wonder? But why was besides the point really? Who are these people to dictate how the mother of a missing child should appear? Judging others and expressing those concerns is part of human nature, it seems, but it's outstanding how some individuals feel entitled to do so, and with such vital from a position of total ignorance. A week had now passed since Madeleine's abduction. Later that day, Thursday the 10th of May, the Portuguese police held a press conference at which they released a photograph of a pair of the same Marks and Spencer pyjamas Madeleine had been wearing, and confirmed that they were winding down the ground search. Meanwhile, Jerry and I, along with a couple of our friends, were called back to the police station in Port Mayo. The police were much friendlier on this occasion, and the junior officers at least gave the impression that by this time they were working very hard. Jerry was taken in to be interviewed while I remained downstairs. I made use of the long wait I anticipated by sitting down with a notebook, pen and my camera, containing dated photographs of the holiday, and trying to write a detailed account of everything that had happened that week before. The interview system we'd encountered on our previous visit, questions asked in Portuguese and verbally translated into English, It was answers given in English, translated into Portuguese, and typed up by the interviewing officer was exhausting for everyone. At the end of the interview, the statement prepared by the officer would be printed out in Portuguese, verbally translated on the spot into English, and then signed by the interviewee. It was obvious that at the stage of the process, the scope for mistakes in translation and misunderstandings were considerable. I sat in the waiting area for 8 hours before I was told that it was now too late for me to be interviewed and I should go home and come back the next day. Jerry was there for 13 hours. When he finally returned to the apartment, he related how Matt had been almost hysterical during his interview. Jerry had heard him shouting and crying. Apparently, it had been put to Matt that he'd handed Madeleine out through the window to a third party. It was like something out of Life on Mars. Alan Pike was concerned about my well-being and asked for my rescheduled interview to be postponed for a few days. The police couldn't have considered it all that important. It was the 6th of September before I was interviewed again. One of the offers of help we'd received came from a paralegal based in Leicester via a colleague of Jerry's. He worked for a firm specialising in family law, the International Family Law Group, IFLG. It was difficult to know what this company could do for us, but we decided it would be worth meeting with them to discuss the possibilities. So on the afternoon of Friday, 11th of May, the paralegal, accompanied by a barrister, flew out to Portugal. We'd warned them to keep their arrival at our apartment low-key so as not to attract any unwanted attention from the media lying in wait outside. In they came, dressed in bow ties and braces. The barrister was even wearing a Panama hat and heaved a sigh. They might as well have a great big arrows pointing on their heads, ready, lawyer, not to worry. It was their presence and input that was important. As well as this initial meeting, we had 2 further sessions with the lawyers over the course of that weekend to explore how they might be able to assist us. There had already been some speculation in the press based on those erroneous reports that when Madeleine was taken, we were dining hundreds of metres away, that we could face prosecution for negligence. After examining the proximity of the Tapas restaurant to apartment 5A, the barrister first of all assured us that our behaviour could not be deemed negligent and was indeed well within the bounds of reasonable parenting. This had hardly been our biggest concern, but it was reassuring to hear all the same. The lawyers then talked to us about applying for an order to make Madeleine a ward of court. Wardship status gives the court certain statutory powers to act on a child's behalf in a legal dispute and to bypass some of the data protection laws that deal with access to information, hotel guest records, for example, and airline passenger lists. Where knowledge of this information is considered to be in the interests of the child in question, such an order could be useful in acquiring records not otherwise available to us that might be relevant in our case. We decided to proceed with an application which was granted in due course. We also discussed the Office of Health that we're now pouring in, including many financial pledges. Jerry and I were at a loss to know how to handle these. One of Jerry's colleagues, for example, had called to say that the staff in his department wanted to make a donation to assist with the search for Madeleine, but didn't know how or where to deposit it. IFLG told us that we needed to set up a fighting fund. They would devise the objectives of the fund and instruct a leading charity law firm, Bates Wells and Braithwaite, BWB, to draw up articles of association. At the last 2 meetings, the barrister and legal assistant were joined by a consultant called Hugh, who professing was not at first explained, just call me Hugh, he said enigmatically. It transpires that he was a former intelligence officer, now a kidnap negotiator and counsellor. We were told that an anonymous but evidently very generous donor had set aside a considerable sum of money for us to put towards the cost of hiring a private investigation company if we wished. Hugh had been brought in by a firm called Control Risks, which was primed to help. The company is an independent specialist risk consultancy with officers and investigators on 5 continents and their main line of work in corporate security. It was a big gesture, but we were immensely grateful, and it was good to know this option was available to us. The first session Hugh attended, which took place at night, had something of a James Bond atmosphere to it, and not in a good way. I felt as if I'd entered a whole new world, and it was an extremely mysterious, frightening one. Perhaps the worst bit was a remark Hugh made about the rewards that was on offer. He told us, dispassionately, that such an inducement would have put a price on Madeleine's head. I was very upset. The thought of anything we had done jeopardising Madeleine's life was too much to bear. Oh my God, isn't it awful? You wouldn't know what way to turn. By the Sunday evening, we found ourselves giving our statements again, this time to a couple of detectives from Control Risks. We were concerned that parts of the statements we had made to the Portuguese police, especially on that first day, might have been lost in translation. We also felt that these accounts were not sufficiently thorough and wanted to have every detail we could remember registered properly. Unfortunately, in our haste to pass the new statements on to the police, we made the mistake of assuming that the transcripts would be correct and discovered only many months later that these too contained inaccuracies, and they had been given and recorded in English. A word of advice in case you are ever unlucky enough to find yourself involved in a criminal investigation in any country. Always make sure that you read your statement in your own language after you've provided it. It was after one of the IFLG meetings that Hugh asked me whether I was keeping a diary. Quite apart from the fact that I was an emotional wreck and hadn't had time to blink for the past week, the idea had never crossed my mind. I hadn't kept a diary since my early teens, and the accounts of my life then were mind-numbingly boring. What time I got up, what time I ate for each meal, and which lesson I enjoyed most of the day. You should, he said. He didn't elaborate on why, he just said you should. The barrister handed me a spare A4 notebook he appeared to have with him. When I thought about it, I realised it would be a good way of remembering these dark and confusing days, of filling in the gaps for Madeleine on her return. It would also be a record of our story that might help all 3 children to understand what had happened when they were older. Setting aside some blank pages in the notebook I'd been given for the days that had already passed, I wrote a few paragraphs on a couple of occasions the following week, though I didn't begin in earnest until the 23rd of May, 20 days after Madeleine was taken. From then on, I kept my journal consistently, and when I had a spare moment, I went back and filled in the blank pages with the notes of our activities and my recollections of every day since 3rd of May. Though my main purpose was to keep a proper account for the children of everything that had happened, I found writing it down was therapeutic. It gave me an outlet for my thoughts and emotions and a means of communicating with Madeleine. I could not talk to her. I could also talk to God. Sorry, I could talk to her. I could also talk to God and even to the abductor if I wanted to. Whatever Hugh's intention was, I am very grateful to him for his suggestion. It might just have saved my life. So many people were supporting us in so many different ways, from the high profile donations of the Rewards Consortium to the quiet prayers and unsung practical acts of friends and strangers. On the day of our first meeting with IFLG, I had gone over to the tapas area to meet up with Paddy, the husband of Bridget, a good friend of mine in Leicester. Paddy is Paddy is, as Bridget puts it, a man of God. He's also 6'3", a big fella generally, with very dark hair and eyes. Not someone you'd miss in a crowd. I was so touched that even though we didn't know each other all that well, he had decided completely off his own bat to come out to Prior Day Lou and join the search party that we were being organised locally. He texted me to say, if you want me to call and see you while I'm there, I'll come. Otherwise, I'll just get on with the search. I had asked Paddy if he had a Bible with him that I could borrow. He brought me one that had been a Christmas present from him to Bridget several years earlier. The Bible is still sitting next to my bed. I must get around to returning it one day. Saturday, the 12th of May, Madeleine's fourth birthday. Until it was upon us, we hadn't been able to think about it. We simply couldn't countenance the idea by the time it arrived she wouldn't be back with us to mark it. Not being with her today, loving her, pleasing her, enjoying her delight was unbearable. We should have been at home. We'd arranged a joint party in Leicester for Madeleine and two of her classmates in nursery, her best friend Sophia, who had been born on the same day, and a little boy called Sam, whose birthday was in a few days of theirs. They had been going to have their first disco. I bought a couple of girl band CDs a few weeks earlier, and we'd been having sing-alongs in the car to warm up for it. The memory of Madeleine sitting in the back seat singing a little arse house with the Pussycat Dolls still makes me laugh and cry. John Hill had arranged for us, Jerry, Sean, Amali, and myself, Trish, and Sandy, Fiona, David, Diane, Jane, Russell, Matt, and Rachel and their kids to spend the day at a private villa. Nikki left that weekend, and Michael had popped home for a couple of days. We didn't know what to do really. We wouldn't let the occasion go unmarked, and we wanted to celebrate Madeleine on her birthday, whether she didn't want. Oh God, where am I? Whether she was with us or not, but nothing we did felt right. It was good to be away from the Ocean Club and the media circus, and the kids enjoyed themselves playing around the pool with floats and toys. But Madeleine's absence hung heavily over everyone. The Mark Warner staff had brought over stacks of food for us. The men organised a barbecue, and there was wine and beer. We ate mostly in silence, concentrating on the kids. I couldn't as usual eat much, and alcohol was completely off my agenda. Fiona recalls that Jerry and I were completely shut down that day, barely able to talk. And although our friends tried to remain cheerful and behave normally to get us through the day, they all felt awkward about being at this lovely villa in the sunshine in these circumstances. There was no cake. Jerry did attempt a toast, but he was visibly too upset and couldn't manage more than I can't even say happy birthday to my daughter before choking up. The physical loss was more intense than ever. I ached for Madeleine. After attending a special mass for her at the church earlier in the evening, we were visited in the apartment by Kat, Madeleine's nanny at the mini club. She had some news for us. She and some of her colleagues were being sent to another Mark Warner resort in Greece. None of them wanted to leave, and to this day, we do not fully understand the decision. We think it might have been for logistical reasons. After Madeleine's abduction, guests with bookings at the Ocean Club for the next few weeks were being offered alternative destinations, and perhaps the company needed to adjust their staffing levels accordingly. But from our point of view, it meant the removal of key witnesses from Prior Day Lou. Having spent much of the previous 4 days cooped up, first with the police and then with the lawyers, by the Sunday afternoon, Jerry and I felt the need to escape into open air. We decided to go for a walk along the beach. Perhaps escape isn't the right word, since we were soon tailed by a set of journalists, and there could be the little escape in any case from hell engulfing us. Thankfully, we were alone when we reached the shore and were able to stroll along the sand in relative solitude. I remember this walk well. It had been a chaotic and confusing 10 days, shot through with unremitting cold dread and dark thoughts that were hard to push away when we had nothing else which was to replace them. This is the anguish of the not knowing. I asked Jerry apprehensively if he'd had any really horrible thoughts or visions of Madeleine. He nodded. Haltingly, I told him about the awful pictures that scrolled through my head of her body. See, now I don't even want to read this because I just don't know where this come from. And this, I remember this being spoken about, and it turned my stomach. Now, Pink, you might know what I'm on about here, where she's describing Madeleine's body. Now, I can't get over why a mother would put that, what she's put. Are you there, Pink? Just waiting. It's just so wrong. It's just so wrong, this bit in the book. And you know what I mean? I can't read that. I'm not comfortable reading that. So let's see where I can go. So she told him about the awful pictures she'd been seeing in her head. A perfect. Oh, although I get what she's saying when you read it in context, but I don't want to read it out. So, admitting the existence of these images. You're all right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Admitting the existence of these images, someone somehow confirmed them as a real possibility, and with the confirmation came renewed waves of fear. So many of the emotions and physical sensations I've experienced over the past few years will be beyond the scope of most people's comprehension. Thank God I felt as if I had embarked on a show. Painful death. Just imagining your child, any child like this, is agonising. And unless such thoughts have any basis in reality, it is normal and understandable to banish them from your mind. Excuse me, everyone. I don't know whether they're on or I have not got a clue.
We turn them on.
Which, see, this is the thing. Which way? I can't say because I'm reading. What?
No, they're off.
If they're off, that's good.
Oh.
But which way do you turn them on?
Into the middle.
And see, I didn't know what to do.
Well, it's off there. It says off.
I couldn't see a thing. All I know was the way to go to the Bluetooth. Sorry, people. Sorry. Where was I? So imagine your child. Everybody has their own mechanisms of self-protection, and surrounding yourself only with nice thoughts is one of many. I wish I could have done that. The pictures I saw of our Madeleine, no sane human being would want in their head, but they were in mine. I simply couldn't rid myself of these evil scenes in the early days and weeks. See, I understand, because I suppose I'd be thinking the most horrific things could be happening, but I don't think I could have written that part in a book. I don't know, but she's being completely honest with the thoughts. So, yeah. That walk with Jerry was, however, a small watershed. The mutual acknowledgement of such delicate and deeply upsetting responses drew us even closer together. It would be some time before we could get far enough past the terrible scenes seared in our minds to think logically about the nice. Once we did begin to function within what we felt like an endless bad dream, we started to comb through our memories, searching for something significant. Had Madeleine been specifically targeted, either for herself or because some knew that apartment 5A would be a breeze to raid? Not only did the corner position allow for easy access and escape, but unlike many other residencies there, It had no protective wrought iron bars at the windows and no security light. Could Madeleine's apparently excessive tiredness on that last Thursday afternoon have been caused by some kind of tranquilizer administered earlier in the day, or even the night before? It had been noticeable, but then we'd been approaching the end of our break, and the children had all been extremely active for almost a week. It might simply have been, as we thought at the time, the holiday catching up with it. Inevitably, though, since we cannot yet know for sure, a little nugget of doubt always remains. For a long while, we would assume that the abductor had entered and exited through the window of the children's bedroom, but it's equally possible that he could have used the patio doors or even a key to the front door. Perhaps either he'd come in or gone out via the window, not both. Perhaps he had been through it, perhaps he hadn't been through it at all, but had opened it to prepare an emergency escape if needed, or merely to throw investigators off the scent. He could have been in and out of the apartment more than once between our visits. That would explain the movement of the door to the children's bedroom at 9:05 p.m. when Jerry had found it further ajar than it should have been. He had pulled it back to its original position, but on arrival, half an hour later, Matt hadn't gone into the room. He had simply listened at the door, which he hadn't adjusted, and yet when I returned at 10, it was open wider once again. How had that happened? Had there been somebody inside that room behind the door when Jerry looked in, just waiting for him to leave? Jerry feels that's unlikely, but again, we can't know for sure. What we do now believe is that the abductor had very probably been into the room before Jerry's check. Oh God, doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Whatever the case, it may have helped if I had made the 9:30 visit instead of Mass. I would have noticed that the door was now left the door was not how we'd left it. Something that nobody could have expected to be apparent to Matt and raise the alarm sooner, of course. I will always feel bad that I didn't. I know it's nobody's fault that I didn't. I know nobody could have foreseen how it could possibly matter. I know that it might well now have made the slightest difference in any case, but it might have. So many little things and will continue to come to light. So many chance incidents and minor decisions made in all innocence, which on their own would not have driven events to such a disastrous conclusion. Together, though, they seem to have accumulated into a monstrous mountain of bad luck. Monday, the 4th of May. Hang on. Am I still going to read this now? Because I'm on number 9 now. So I think I will, won't I? So Monday, the 4th of May. 14th of May, sorry. Today I went for my first run since Madeleine was taken. Anyone who doesn't run or exercise generally might wonder why. And more to the point, how I could possibly do this in the circumstances. Why is easy. Exercise and running in particular is good for the mind as well as the body. It can induce a sense of well-being, lifts your mood and aids the relief of stress, anxiety and sleeplessness. I needed all the help I could get. As to how well, I suppose I made myself do it in the same mechanical way as I made myself wash my face in the morning, brush my teeth and acknowledge another day. However, I was also driven by additional and more complicated motives. One was that somehow I knew running would help numb the torment, albeit temporarily. Even more bizarrely, I felt I needed to do it to bring Madeleine back. I can see now that this makes no rational sense, but at the time, it was as if I had to push myself to the limit in every way in order to achieve my heart desire. My child has suffered and therefore so must I. I remember speeding along the beach, concentrating totally on Madeleine. I had a picture of her in my hand, which I squeezed when I felt tired to spur me on, especially going up the sharply raised Rudy prayer. I could not have entertained simultaneously I was saying a decade of the rosary in my head when I returned to the apartment block. I sat on the steps at the bottom and cried like a baby. Either the run or the crying or both seemed to induce a sense of calm. The first weekend I felt a burning desire to run up to the Rocha Negro, and Jerry and I would in fact do so many times over the next few months. In places it was just too steep and I had to slow down to walking speed. But if I dared stop, interpreted by my brain as failure, I would mentally beat myself up. I still felt as if every challenge had to be met on Madeleine's behalf. I wouldn't recommend such mind games. They certainly don't make life any easier. But as Jerry will readily confirm, I can be quite stubborn, although I prefer to call it determined. We gave another statement to the media outside the apartment that Monday, and on this occasion answered a few questions. Then earlier in the evening, we heard that Robert Muras, our erstwhile translator, had been taken in by the police for question. We had no prior warning of this from the police. The first we knew of it was when we happened to catch the breaking news on television, the same as everyone else. We stood there paralysed, watching live pictures of the police going in and out of Murat's home, removing computer equipment and box loads of other stuff. We were terrified that the next thing we were going to see was an officer carrying out a little body bag. Was it really too much to ask to be spared this harrowing experience? Whether the police were simply being completely thoughtless or whether this was something to do with the judicial secrecy law, I cannot say. Sandy and Michael walked up to the Murat family home, which was only 100 yards from our Ocean Club apartment, to try to find out what was happening. A Sunday Times journalist filled them in on a few more details. A little later, one of the British FLOs popped up to our apartment to apologise for the lack of warning. It wasn't his fault, of course, but the damage had already been done. Murat, the 33-year-old son of Portuguese father and British mother, was described in the press as a self-employed property developer. He lived in Casa Liliana with his mother. He had been reported to the police by a Sunday Mirror journalist, Laurie Campbell, suspicious of what she felt was his odd behaviour. Apparently, he had been hanging around the media park constantly, asking questions. Taking others perceive as an unusual level of interest doesn't make you a criminal, of course, but it worried several people amongst the press. We soon found out that Murat had been made an arguido. This formal statement meant he would be officially treated as a suspect in the crime. It also confers various rights, such as the right to remain silent and entitlement to legal representation. For this reason, it is possible, and indeed not unheard, for the person being questioned as a witness with less protection from the law to declare himself arguido, for example, if he feels that the line the police are taking suggests they suspect him. They suspect him even. We met up with Alan Pike to talk through how we were feeling. Strange was the short answer for a brief period. I found myself feeling positive, almost excited that we might be nearer to finding Madeleine. That evaporated when we went round to see Fiona and David. Fiona told us she'd seen Robert Murat outside the apartment 5A on the night of Madeleine's disappearance. Then I began to feel panicky. It had belatedly begun to dawn on me that it probably wouldn't be good news at all if someone living as close as Robert Murat was involved. As Fiona and David speculated, I became more and more anxious. I didn't want to hear it. Within the space of a couple of hours, I went from feeling cautiously optimistic to very low. Another long, dark night followed. It later transpired that on the evening before Murat was taken in for questioning, the police had summoned Jane to a mysterious rendezvous in the car park next to the Millennium area, refusing to say why they wanted to see her and insisting she told no one. Their behaviour seemed so sinister that she was quite scared. Russell walked her to the car park, and on the way, they passed Castle Lilia just as Murat was returning to his villa in the van. He stopped to speak to Russ, whom he must have seen around, eager to tell him what he and his mother were doing to help find Madeleine. Jane, who had never met Murat, was not taking much notice. She was just anxious to get going for this cloak and dagger meeting, to be over with. When Russell managed to extricate them, Murat said he needed to be off too, mentioning that the police wanted to see him. From the car park, Jane was driven round to a nearby street where a police officer asked her to get into the back of a van disguised to resemble a refrigerated delivery vehicle. Like Sussie's van, they told us. The police took her straight back to the Ocean Club and they wanted to park at the point where she'd seen the man and child. The police took her straight back to the Ocean Club. They had wanted to park at the point where she'd seen the man and child on the 3rd of May, but there was another car there and they had to stop further down the road. She was instructed to look out of the window and tell the police whether she could identify anyone crossing the junction of Rue de Jantal Martins Rue. Oh God, it goes on forever. As the person she had seen that night, 3 men walked by. 2 of them looked nothing like the figure she had described. One was blonde and tall, and the other 2 fat. The third could have been him, but at that distance, she couldn't make out properly, and unfortunately, just as he crossed the road, he was obscured by the car in the space that the police had wanted, which chose that moment to pull out. The police moved the van to the car parked opposite the Ocean Club entrance to try and give Jane a better look of the third man. He was walking along a path and his sight line was blocked by foliage, but now the van windows were steaming up too. She told the police she could not be sure either way. One of the officers made a phone call to check whether she needed to sign a statement to this effect, but then informed her it wouldn't be necessary. When Murat appeared on TV news the next day, Russell pointed him out as the man who had stopped to talk to them outside Castle Liliana the previous evening. Jane was concerned that he might have been picked up purely as a result of the amateurist identity parade in which he had unwittingly participated. Like Fiona, Russell declared she'd seen Murat outside apartment 5A on the evening of the 3rd of May, as they discovered had Rachel. Jane phoned GCS Bob Small. She told him she encountered Murat before a rendezvous with the police and mentioned that Russell and Rachel had said they noticed him outside our flat the night Madeleine vanished. In case either piece of information was important, although at that stage it didn't appear to our friends to be noteworthy for Murat to have been nearby when Madeleine was abducted. He lived just along the road after all, and there was no reason why he shouldn't have been there. The police took further statements from Fiona, Russell and Rachel. Oh my God, I didn't know that he was outside the apartment. It was perhaps telling that Jane had not been required to sign anything, since the absence of documentary evidence to the contrary allowed claims to be made later that she had identified Murat as the man she'd seen on the 3rd of May. This was completely untrue. Jane would have loved to have been able to make a definite identification because it might have helped the investigation, but the fact is she couldn't. The setup was so inadequate that she was unable to even recognise Murat as the man she had met half an hour earlier, let alone say with a certainty that he was one she had seen 10 days before. We had pleaded for an informal meeting with the police to keep us abreast of what was happening. We took it as read that those in charge of the investigation would have a duty to tell us. As the parents of an abducted child, Whether there was any closer to finding her or not, it would be standard practice, surely. No, not in Portugal. The judicial secrecy laws ruled this out, we were told. An information blackout is such a painful situation, is nothing short of inhumane. Not knowing where your child is, how your child is, who's your child's with, or indeed whether you will ever see it again, is a glimpse of hell. Not knowing either about anything or waste isn't being done to her, or whether she's been, waste isn't being done to her, find her, or whether those looking for her are privy to more information about her circumstances than you are, only piles on the agony. With the chance of learning a great deal from the PJ, the police, we tried to focus on the imminent launch of Madeleine's fund and on coming up with the ways to put the accumulating donations to the most effective use. The response of prominent philanthropists and the general public alike to our daughter's plight and Jerry's call to arms had already been fantastic that weekend. Well-wishers are queued at St Andrew's Cathedral in Glasgow to join a vigil for Madeleine. Football star David Beckham had appealed for information, and there had been words of support too from the Prime Minister in waiting, Gordon Brown. In Portugal, hundreds of bikers set off to ride the length of the country with leaflets and posters. It was an ex-colleague of Jerry's in Glasgow who had suggested the Beckham appeal. Jerry's ex-boss, who was the Scotland football team doctor, spoke to Sir Alex Ferguson on our behalf. Sir Alex got in touch with David Beckham and he instantly agreed to do it. We are so grateful to him. He said his piece with such feeling that it couldn't fail to touch people. Sir Alex Ferguson was also behind the appeal made by Cristiano Ronaldo, the world-famous Portuguese footballer who played for him at Manchester United. There followed more spontaneous messages from other players, including Chelsea's John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, oh God, I'm going to get this wrong, and the Ukrainian Andrei Shevchenko, who made his appeal in several languages. BWB, the law firm drawing up the Articles of Association for the Fighting Fund, had talked to the Charity Commission about whether it would be eligible for charitable status, as its objectives were limited to the search for a single child, and the beneficiaries were essentially one family. It was deemed that the public benefits would not be met. So the fund took the form of a non-for-profit private limited company. It was set up with great care and due diligence by experts in the field. From the onset, everyone agreed that despite the costs involved, it must be run to the highest standards of transparency. There needed to be independent directors as well as family representatives, and people from a variety of professions joined my uncle Brian Kennedy and Jerry's brother Johnny on the board. At that time, though, we had little idea how important these measures would prove to be in enabling us to withstand the massive scrutiny to which the fund should be subjected, especially when the tide turned against us. Meanwhile, Alex Woolfall had recommended that given the high profile of our situation and the fact that he was there principally to represent Mark Warner, we really ought to engage our own family spokesperson. Jerry had contacted the Foreign Office to ask if they could help, and they kindly arranged for Sheree Dodd, an independent consultant, to come to Praia de Lu for a week or so to act as our family spokesperson and assist us with our burgeoning campaign. Sherry joined us on the 15th of May and got down to work straight away. By this time, we were using one of the apartments loaned to us by Mark Warner as an office, immediately nicknamed Mission Control by the family. And it was fast becoming a hive of activity, also helping out at that time were my friends Linda, who used to keep a sisterly eye on me playing in our road in Huyton when I was 4 and she was 10, and Father Paul, also known as Sedo, an important figure in our family life. It meant a lot to me to have him there, providing spiritual support as well as extra pair of hands. We realised that the extraordinary media coverage given to Madeleine's case was probably reaching saturation point in the UK and Portugal, and it was just as likely that she could have been taken out of the country. We were now thinking about ways of extending the scope of our campaign abroad. Cherie was experienced at running campaigns. She had previously handled one for the Department of Trade and Industry, and equally importantly, she was warm, considerate, and easy to get on with. She was almost one of the family, joining us for meals and always happy to muck in. She even ironed a shirt for Jerry once, which was definitely above and beyond the call of duty. On the day after Cherie's arrival, Wednesday the 16th, Madeleine's Fund, leaving no stones unturned, was launched in Leicester. Rugby player Martin Johnson, the former Leicester Tigers skipper and World Cup winning England captain, generously agreed to front the launch. We were represented by a large contingent of family and friends and saw it ourselves live on TV in Praia de Leu. John Corner had produced a DVD of photographs and video images of Madeleine to the soundtrack of the Simple Minds song, Don't You Forget About Me. It was a wonderful film, but very difficult for Jerry and me to watch. That evening, it was shown at the UEFA Cup final at Hampton Park in Glasgow, which happened to involve two Spanish teams, Sevilla and RCD Espanyol. With Spain so close and accessible from Lou, we were heartened that it would help to increase awareness there. The more people who knew Madeleine, the more eyes there could be out there looking for her, and the greater our chances of finding her there would be. That day, Jerry played tennis with Sedo, David, and Mark. There was no way I could have done this, as well as being acutely aware that the last time I played was the last day I'd see Madeleine. I was far from ready to take part in anything that could be classified as pleasurable. Although I'd been for a run 2 days before, to me, as I've said, this seemed a necessity rather than a pleasure, and there is no doubt there was an element of self-punishment to it. All recreational activities seemed inappropriate, verging on disrespectful, and because they weren't yet right for me, I found it hard to undertake how Jerry could enjoy them either. In spite of what I felt, I knew that whatever our different ways of coping and adjusting, our common and indeed only goal was to find our daughter, and everything else was unimportant. So my oversensitivity had never caused any real problems between us. The last few years have been a crash course in the complete spectrum of human nature, and one lesson I have learned from it is never ever to judge. There are no rights or no wrongs response in any case. To judge is ignorance. It's conceited, inconsiderate at best. Jerry needed to keep active. Perhaps he needed and was able to briefly switch off. I know how much he loves Madeline, and I can feel how painful it is for him not to have it in his life. He is a good, strong, incredibly focused and loyal man, and to this day, I feel guilty that I questioned his actions, albeit silently in my head. As Jerry, Linda, Paul, and I headed down to the church early that evening, we noticed satellite trucks pulling up and journalists gathering in Rua 25 de Abril. One of the two cameramen spotted us and began to run over, but we managed to get into the church before they caught up with us. Thank heaven for small mercies, very small. We didn't find out until later the reason for all the activity, and when we did, once again, it was from the television and not from the police. This street was home to Sergei Malinka, a young Russian IT expert and business associate of Robin Muras, for whom he had set up property websites. After police found a log call to his phone from Murat shortly before midnight on the 3rd of May, Malinka was taken to the police station to be questioned as a witness, and his flat was searched. Ultimately, the police were satisfied that he was not implicated in any wrongdoing. Jerry and I spent the rest of the evening with our family group in Jane and Russell's apartment. It was the first time everyone had been able to get together in the past 13 days, and it would be the last. The next morning, Jane, Russell, Matt, Rachel, and Diane would be flying home. Fiona and David had decided to stay on until the following Tuesday. I'm sure this was a very difficult step for them all to take, and they probably felt quite guilty about leaving us behind in the prior deluge with Madeleine still missing. But obviously they had to return at some point. Their lives had to go on. But the terrible experience we shared would stay with us all on one level or another and bind us together forever. It was understandably a very emotional farewell. With 3 of their bodies now on the plane back to Britain, Sean and Mally continued to stay at the toddler club every weekday morning. They stayed there, but with the realisation that we had to be proactive in the search for Madeleine, Jerry and I become busier and busier. But looking back, I don't feel we could or should have done anything differently in those first few weeks with regard to the twins or indeed anything else. We were always around somewhere, and in the time we did have the children, I'd like to think we made it clear how much we loved them and how vital they were to us. And they seemed to glide through the chaos and misery around them completely unperturbed. If they saw images of Madeleine on the television, they would wave and blow kisses. It's difficult to know how much they could have understood. They were only 2 years and 3 months old. But there again, they had spent virtually every day of their lives with Madeleine. Like her, they were bright for their age. There is no doubt that the twins have a special relationship, and although Sean and Amali are like chalk and cheese in many ways, the fact that they have had their other half to cuddle, play with, and talk must have cushioned the effect on them to some degree. I'm sure the altered family dynamics and psychological consequences would have been a lot worse for one child, or even 2 of different ages. Alan Pike talked to us about the twins, of course, and although we weren't aware of it at the time, he had a session with our friends too about what they should and shouldn't say to their kids. Alan also put us in touch with David Chikeri, a chartered child psychologist specialising in traumatic bereavement, who had experience in dealing with families of abducted children. David, who had coincidentally recently taken up a post in Leicester, came out to Praia de Luz the following month and spent 4 hours with us. We just wanted reassurance, really, that they were handling everything in the way we should. David told us that it was important to be totally honest with children. If they ask a question, it should be answered as truthfully and as openly as possible. In our case, he said, there wasn't an awful lot we could tell Amali and Sean because we didn't know ourselves what had happened to Madeleine. Obviously, as they got older, they would ask more searching questions, and as we continued to respond, they would gradually build up a picture of the situation in their own heads. A kind of pyramid of information after meeting Sean and Amali, who put on a tremendous performance for him, playing and laughing as usual, apparently without a care in the world. David assured us they had no concerns at all about their well-being. Even so, we remained in touch, just to reassure ourselves again from time to time that they were still on the right track. On Thursday, the 17th of May, Michael gave a statement to the media with Cherie riding shotgun to follow up the launch of the funds with news of our plans to widen our campaign. The Find Madeleine website was now up and running and would receive 100 million hits over the next 4 days. The distribution of posters were being expanded across Europe, and various multinational companies, multi-international companies supporting us, and began to include Madeleine's image on all outgoing emails. In addition, several of our friends and family photographs dealing with some of the many letters arriving in Praia de Lou. These encounters with the press went well, all except for the introduction of two little words. Sharia thought T. McCann was quite punchy and suggested a united and determined and resourceful group, which is what we were. But there was a minor backlash, mutterings about it sounding too slick, which led to snide references in the media to the McCann media machine and even the juggernaut. This marked the start of a thread of criticism we will become used to in the coming months. Taking a short walk along the promenade with Linda, Sedo, and I, we met up by chance with Fiona, David, and Scarlett. We all went to a cafe for a drink and a snack. Never mind playing tennis, even small normal activities like this felt so wrong. Madeleine needed us, and it didn't seem to be the right to make time out, even for 15 minutes. I still have this feeling today at varying levels of intensity, and it makes me restless, anxious, a sense that we have to be doing something in connection with our quest in every waking moment. It remains resistant to logical, sensible talking, and I just have to learn to live with it. But I am able to accept now it is important for us to take proper breaks, even holidays, to avoid burning out. It is also important, of course, that Sean and Amali get quality time with us, and I feel reassured that when we do pause for a rest, we have so many staunch supporters who can be relied upon to press us on in the meantime. It became apparent very early on how fortunate we are to have such good and resourceful family and friends. The following day, Friday, the 18th of May, Linton and Paul left us. It's so hard parting in such circumstances. We'd already had so many hellos and goodbyes, and there were many more to come. But the goodbyes never got any easier. Jerry was going home on Sunday too, just for a couple of days. We had been in Portugal ourselves for almost 3 weeks. For the moment, Jerry was on paid compassionate leave as a locum. I wasn't entitled to this, but the partners at my surgery all agreed and wanted to give me 2 months' pay, which was greatly appreciated. The inaugural meetings of the board of Madeleine's Fund was due to take place at home, and we wanted a meeting too with our lawyers, control risks, and the British police. We decided that Jerry should go back to the UK to deal with these matters. Given the huge media interest, this flying visit had to be planned quite strategically. The authorities in both countries helped out, ensuring that it ran as smoothly as possible. Saturdays had become family days, a bittersweet idea. Family without Madeleine, how could that be? We were a family of five. We felt we needed to set aside a whole day in the week, or as near to a whole day as we could manage, to spend with Sean and Amali. And Saturdays, when they didn't go to toddler club, suited everyone. But those were incredibly difficult times emotionally for Jerry and me. We felt quite guilty about enjoying anything with the twins while Madeleine was still missing. The twins were adorable, and of course they brought us such joy. Madeleine's absence, though, was crucifying. We tried our best. We have 3 children, and they all deserve a happy and loving life with parents who are there for them. On Saturday, the 19th of May, we all went down to the beach with Fiona, David, and their kids. We built sandcastles, ran into the water with Amali and Sean, and played near the hire boats with them. It was a scene that must have seemed so ordinary to any casual observer, but underneath it ran the unshakable unease that denies me any peace even today. I fretted too about what people who recognised us might be saying. How can they possibly be playing on the beach when their daughter is missing? There is no way I would be able to do that if it was mine. A month ago, in their shoes, I would probably have been saying the same thing myself. That afternoon, we agreed to see a photographer from the Sunday Mirror, whose pictures would be put in the press for the other Sunday newspapers. Having our photographs taken for media purposes was and remains a difficult issue. Apart from the fact that it's uncomfortable for us and often feels staged, how are we supposed to appear and behave for the camera? Smiling seems completely inappropriate in the circumstances, and even when it isn't, for example, when we're playing with Sean and Amali, as we were that day, it doesn't stop people criticising us. Look, they're smiling. They don't seem bothered at all, do they? Of course, if you don't smile, you are labelled cold or stony faced. You just can't win. At least on this occasion, the pictures were fairly natural, showing us engaged in normal activities in the apartment that we'd have been engaged in anyway. And the photographer was very nice, but to be honest, it all felt a bit naff, for want of a better word. Reflecting on it now, I'm not sure why we agreed to do things like this. I suppose it was part of keeping the papers on side. If we gave them something, it would help maintain Madeleine's high profile. Journalists were always telling us it was important for the general public to see that we were just an ordinary family. The jury's still out on that argument, I think. What I do know is that trying to maintain the balance between our privacy and the media's appetite for the human interest angle was very tricky. We were still quite naive back then, especially me, and it would be a little while yet before I began to gain a sense of their priorities. This dilemma has always been at the heart of our difficult relationship with the media. Much as we shrank from their intrusion, we needed them to keep Madeleine in the public eye. We had also been asked if we would be filmed watching John Madeleine's DVD, which was to be shown again later that day during the FA Cup final coverage. We declined. Now that definitely would have felt staged. 2 weeks into our ordeal, if anything, the media attention seemed to be increasing. Apparently, Sky and three anchors in Praia de Leu, the BBC sent out Hugh Edwards, ITV dispatched Sir Trevor MacDonald, who did a 1 hour special from the village. Everyone wanted the first interview with us. There were direct approaches from the BBC and from ITV in the form of a handwritten note from Sir Trevor, and it seemed the broadcasters were relying on their big guns to get it. We were simply not ready at that point to do such interviews. Jerry was also worried that once we did, the interest would begin to wane, and with it, the spotlight on Madeleine. Okay, guys, I'm on number 10 now, so we'll leave that for tomorrow. I hope that went okay. Sorry for all these little words I just can't say. And you know what I found as well? Because you're reading for that long, like 2 hours, when you try and say certain words, your tongue at the sides are numb, and you don't say the word properly because the words that I could say, but I couldn't say, if that makes sense. I need something to drink. Al, can you put the kettle on? Try a spoon.
I can't because it doesn't fit.
I finished that, didn't I, just before you went out? So we haven't had to drink. He's going to make us a cuppa now. Oh, God. Isn't it, just shows you, though, you don't know what way to go. The media are your worst nightmare, and it's the worst thing to do, isn't it, is have them on your case, but on the other hand, you need them. So it's finding the balance. And how do you find that? Because I remember all that being said, oh, she doesn't look sad, does she? Or, oh, she looks like she's had a full night's sleep and stuff like that. And it just shows you. You just don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and it's wrong to be so judgmental on things like this, isn't it? So, Lizzo, I won't ask you, Pink, because you've already read it. So, Lunchy, what, you didn't notice me being tongue-tied at all? Oh my God, my tongue's numb. I was saying all the words I knew all wrong. But there was loads of words I missed out, I'll be honest. Has it changed your way of thinking about what you thought prior to hearing this book? I mean, how are you supposed to know how to act in this case? I hope to never know. Oh, God, Gail, I hope to never know. I hope no people I ever know have to go through this, because I'm going to be completely honest with you. If that was my kid's choice, I would rather know the worst thing possible than to not know, because I think not knowing is the worst feeling of all. You're never going to sit there and think, well, we know she's passed away, we know she's gone. You can get a grave somewhere, you can go and mourn her and stuff like that. But to sit there and think, she could knock at this door any minute. Or is the police going to turn up at my house and say they've found her remains? Imagine. You just don't know. You're sitting there uncertain forever. So what are you saying is you're very unsure? I just need that to go down because I can't see what you're saying. There's the little heart things over it. Yeah, I'm still very unsure what to think. I don't know what to blame them because I'm pissed at their stupidity. That's it with me, is the fact that they went there and left them kids alone. But then I seen a documentary, someone on the YouTube. I mean, if you go and look, they went to the Praia de Lou, and they literally showed you how far it was, and it was literally from here to there. It just sounds longer, but still, if you've got one entrance that you're right in front of, you can see, then I could understand a little bit. I even couldn't have done it, but I could understand a little bit. But not when there's an entrance at the back. No chance. No chance in this earth could I have done that. But God help them, they're living with it. I mean, even them are questions would have been so tired that day, whether she'd been given anything, you know, to sort of get her into bed, because they'd know the parents to put her to bed because she's acting tired, so they can get the job done, get in there, get her out. And that Muras, he's been cleared, hasn't he? But I heard on one of these YouTubes that there was a phone call made and they were on it for an hour and then called back again, but that didn't say that in the book, did it? Yeah, it's just and then you hear the doctors, did they give them something? But I think that has come out by now, mind you, now, because they haven't got it. So they couldn't test. I mean, it'd be too late now anyway, wouldn't it? They wouldn't be able to. But then the Cabadar dogs, I'm dying for it to come to that bit about the Cabadar dogs and the car. Because wasn't the car hired? They rented a car. Was it 10 days after Maggie was taken? They hired a car and there was blood. Well, how could that be? Or is that just all lies? Yeah, I don't think going through IVF then doing anything like that. I don't believe they've done it. I really don't believe they've done it. I think first when I thought they did, I thought it was an accident. They've given her something like Calpol or something to help her sleep, and she's got up groggy, fell and banged her head, and that's been it, and they've got rid. But the more I'm reading this now, I really, when you're reading it, you can feel. I don't think, I just don't think they've done it. But yet the blood in the boot of the car. But wasn't that car hired 10 days after Maggie went missing? I can't wait to get to that part to find all these little bits out. Are you blessed, Mama? Blessed. I'm calling you blessed so we'll get it right. I have the sound off. Don't want to listen to anything sad at the moment. Just wanted to come in and chat. It's finished now, blessed. It's finished. So don't worry, love. You can put your sound on. We're just talking about little things that we thought at the time, and we're just wondering. And hopefully we get some answers in the rest of the book. Because we're on 10 now and there's like, how many did I say? I can't remember. Can't even see. Now after the time I've read this, I'm shattered. I could sleep for a week. So we're on 10. So some of these are pictures as well, you see, and things like that. So, but what do you think on that picture, Donovan? Oh, how she look now? You don't know, do you? You don't know. But maybe they took her off her sister. Oh, she's what? She's 17 now. Bless Mama, turn the sound on, the reading is over. Oh, yeah, there's no sound now, bless Mama. You can put your sound on, girl. That's what I mean. This isn't for everyone. There's only ever been 3 of these in here every night to listen to me. God bless them. And you know what? This is the only night we've had good sound. So they could hear everything, even all the mistakes I made. But the other 2 were awful. The sound's awful. But thank God I can do that on here. But you want to see how much it takes me to work it out to get in here. So I'm going to leave this page open when I end the live. So I know where it is. So I can do the live then straight away for tomorrow night. Now tell me, what do you see on the screen? Is the screen just black? Because I can't work out, Liz, how I put an avatar picture up. Alex said he'll mess around with that in a minute. He couldn't do it because I had the live scheduled, so he didn't want to press anything and knock it off. Oh, I don't think I'll ever get used to using it, lunch. I swear to God. If I'm able to get in Leanie's or the channels, I'll be great. But I can't get into Leanie's. This is the first way I've come in through YouTube, and I don't know how I've done it. I really don't. But it's the only way I can get in. So I think she's going to have to delete me from everything and then start again. I think she's going to have to do that, and then maybe it'll all come together then, and it'll make it easier for me, because right now it's not easy to get in at all. It's really hard. Even Alec finding it difficult. Yeah, it's just a black screen. See what I mean? I wanted at least a picture on there, and because I've got no pictures in the laptop, because Alec wiped everything off it to give it to me, and I got Madeleine's picture before. I copied that to use for the thumbnail. So I'll probably have to use the same one for tomorrow. But so what's that? Just set up an email for YouTube. Yeah, because I've got one for mine, my Maggie one. But it's great on the phone. I've got all the accounts on the phone, and I can just go straight into StreamYard, and Leanie's there, according to Leanie, and 2 chicks in a pond. That's there. I don't have any problem with that. But on here, I'm snookered. No, she's not here. She's not here. She's not. I think she's asleep, to be honest. But so how are you, love? You okay? God, my eyes are all knackered. I'm shattered. Oh, bless Mama, I've had a terrible day today. Oh, God. My lovely little fairy dog shit on the back seat of my car. Yeah, sometimes she'll come in and have a little listen, and then she's gone. Not everyone's cup of tea. I know that, you know what I mean? I wouldn't sit here and go, oh, so-and-so should have come in, and why wasn't so-and-so? You've got to be, wanting to hear it. I mean, God help you. I hope you did want to hear it, and you didn't feel like you needed to come in. They said, oh, go on, tell her, Maggie. Oh, God. Bless Mama. Do you want to hear a story about me today? Oh, no, she's helping her daughter. Oh, God, don't have the sound on then. Okay, love, don't worry. Oh, God. Lunch lady. Was you here, Lunchy? You were here when I told Lizzo and Pink about today? Oh, God. I'll send you some pictures as well. I took some pictures to show Leonie the cemetery and all the old stones because she likes all stuff like that. And I thought, oh, I'll upload them onto the laptop. I haven't got a clue. Oh, okay. So, am I okay to speak then, bless mama? Because I don't want to go and say shit if your daughter's there. Do you know what I mean? Oh, wait till you hear about what happens, lunch lady. Your purpose was about. Well, so she's never done anything like that in the car. And a few weeks back, I bought a back seat. It covers the back seat. It's a nice one. I think it was only cheap off Amazon because the new car I've got has got the leather seats. They're not real leather, faux leather seats. So I thought she'll scratch it to pieces. They're not, are they? Are they?
Yeah.
Go away. My God, Alex said it's real leather. I've got real leather seats anyway on me real leather seats. So I got it covered because I thought she'll just scratch it to pieces. And I was made up with the fit, and it's a good thick one. You can get some that are just like a nylon-y. Well, this is a good thick one. It fits in perfect. So it was on the back seat, thank God. Jessie sleeps on a big cushion in the back seat. So we've been to Sainsbury's today shopping. My son stayed in the car with Jessie because I hate leaving Jessie in the house. I goes around and I'm posh, lunch, I'm posh. And we leather seats, didn't know that. I'm telling everyone now I've got leather seats. So goes around the shops, only got a few bits and starts heading towards the cemetery. And my son goes, oh my God, Mum, what's that smell? And I went, what smell? And then as I said, what smell? I smelled this smell. And he turned his head and looked in the back. Obviously, I'm driving down a busy road. And he went, oh my God, Mum, the dog shit on the back seat. I went, what? Oh. Well, the smell was getting worse and worse and worse. And he's going, Mum, it's diarrhea. And I'm going, and the two of us. And I'm going, stop talking. What's that? Grizzly just went live, Jen. So, I'll have to go. We'll tell a shit story dead quick. So, you can go, Pink. Go on, don't miss it. Don't miss it. What are you laughing at?
Wait, let's tell me shit story dead quick.
And the next thing, he's spoken, and I'm going, and I'm opening the windows. Oh, it's horrible. I can still smell it up my nose. And I went, I'm going to have to sort it when I get to the cemetery. He went, are you joking? You can't. And he's going like that. And I'm going, oh my God. Pulls up in the street. Anyway, he gets these poo bags out and he's having to scrape this diarrhea off the back seat. Jessie is shaking, thinking, oh my God. She's shaking, like she's ever been hit in her life. And he's going, what'll I do with the cushion? I said, throw it in the fucking bin. So there's these big bins in the street. So he's running across the road with a shitty cushion. And all the people must have been looking out the windows, I swear to God. Because, no, I was telling you, as I know you always watch everything. Oh, I do. You're right to tell me. I'll be over there in a minute. And anyway, so he's scooping all this shit up. Oh, guys. So I thought, hang on a minute. I'm by Sharon, some woman now. So phone Sharon. Sharon, are you in? Yeah. Can you please help me? The dog shit all over the back seat. She's in pleats laughing. I'm going to need some baby wipes and whatever. So we drive down the corner to their house. Ryan's got hold of Jessie on his knee. I'm going, watch if there's shit on her ass. It's going to be all over you. So he's going, oh, I said, don't put the dog. Oh, well, I was terrified the dog was going to run away. But I tried to get the dog off the lead. And as I did, all shit went over my hands. It was on the lead and everywhere. Oh, I was going, I can't bear my life. So we scrubbed all the back seats. Thank God I come up, no problem. Smelled better than it did before. So I was all made up, all made up. So that was my story. Jessie shit all over the back seat of the car, and it was diarrhea. You know, don't just shit, Jess. Make it diarrhea. But she had a worming tablet yesterday. So there you go. What's that? Oh my God, I can't bear me. Me like I can't I can't bear me life. I swear to God, Lunchy. It's sometimes I think this could only happen to me. This could only happen to me. Some of the things in my life. What's that? I've been listening to Grizzly on Maggie. Oh, bless mammy. I'm glued to it. Glued. Glued. Did you watch him, Pink? When he got handcuffed. Oh, did you watch him? They should lock Jen Sosa up. What? How could you be that stupid? That was going on since that little girl was 8 years old. Oh, come on. She must have noticed something. I mean, she's not even sitting there like we would now and saying to the police, because I've watched all of her interview. She's not even sitting there going, oh my God, you know what? The blah, blah, blah. And now I'm thinking about it. Because you would. Everything, you'd be thinking everything now, wouldn't you? Was something going on? I mean, going and telling your fella and you're tasting your old daughter to go up to bed together. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jen Soto police audio interview. Seen it. See Grizzly does one and she talks through it. And then she does one where she doesn't talk through it. Is it the one where she's sitting on the couch, Pink? She's got black leggings on, a pair of trainees, and a black jacket. Is it that one? Sitting on the couch, talking to the two policemen. She did offer a daughter on a plate. She offered them up on a platter. On a platter. That's what, you know what I think? This is my opinion, right? You jug that little girl, because most of them pictures of her were asleep. He wanted to do stuff with that Jen Soto, who refused, so he did it to the daughter. He did it to the daughter because it's been said what he did. So he did to her daughter what she wouldn't let him do. And that's probably why she let her go with him. Oh, Lunch, it's amazing. She's brilliant. Grizzly, true crime. Just say his full interview. Well, you see her sitting on a couch. Tell me if she's sitting on a couch and there's two policemen in there. She's got black leggings on. Yeah, Gisela Grizzly, true crime. She's brilliant. She is really good. She can't bear him. She can't bear that Steph. I can't even say his name. Stephen Staines. She can't stand him. She hates him. It's horrible. Do you watch it a bit, don't you, Liz? Did you say you started watching it, but you haven't caught up? You don't need to. You know what happened to the kids? Just go to the interviews. Oh, I've got them all in a playlist. Can't cope with it. Can't cope with it. I'm rewinding it back and going, what was that? What did she say? What was that? And you know when she's getting interviewed, she says, well, where would I stash your body? Because they're going, well, where would you think that he'd have put Madeleine? And she's going, well, where would I stash your body? She doesn't ever say her name. She doesn't ever say my daughter or her. It's the body. You watched it last night? Oh, God. Which one did you watch, Liz? Pink, come back and tell me when it starts. What is she sitting on the couch with the police? It's honest to God. I've watched the one where they go around the house and you see room 4, and you know he had a tripod in there. Now, why didn't Jen Soto say to him? Because there's no mention on there yet. What's that tripod for? Why have you got a tripod in here? Unless Jen used to go in there with him at times and he'd take pictures of her or of them. Because otherwise, why is the tripod in there? If she didn't question it, she knew about it and she knew why. She knew it was in there because she must have been using it with him. Do you get me? And it had no covers on the bed, just a mattress with a sheet over, one pillow, and the room was all darkened. And it had a telly in there, can't stand them. Go on, Lunchy. Enjoy, girl. It's the one where they're asking she thought he may have put it and they showed it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And what she did then, Liz, is she went to his mother and father and said, get him a lawyer. The police, have you heard the police shouting at her? Is it where the two police are with her, Liz? And he screams at her saying, I showed you a picture of your daughter with his so-and-so in her mouth, and your first thought was to let him know to get a solicitor, a lawyer. I went, hang on a minute. I didn't see that one, Liz. It's annoying me how police keep saying she was in a sexual relationship. What do you mean, Liz? Saying that the kids, I know. Because what they were saying is, it doesn't matter whether she agreed to it or not, because she was groomed. So, he could have been saying, I'm your boyfriend. She could have been in love with him. Do you know what I mean, Liz? God help her. But that shouldn't be said. She wasn't in a relationship. She was a baby. And even that Staines, Stacey Dick, who done it, said when they were questioning, the police questioned him, saying, did she know if she had any boyfriends? No, she was too young for things like that. That's what he said. And then in the next couple of things, the policeman said, when we took your phone and you said you'd done a factory reset by accident, he said, well, we retrieved everything. So he just looked and he went, yeah, we retrieved old pictures. Do you know what pictures we're on about? And he went, well, family pictures and things like that. Still had the cheek to say that. And he went, no, there was pictures of a child. Do you know what I mean now? And he went quiet. He went, is this the time to get a lawyer? What's that? They hadn't had sex since 2022. So why is he coming over? Exactly. Why is he coming over? She must have known something was going on. So I want to know why that comment was made. Madeleine's not sleeping in the bed with me no more. I can't take that chance. What's that mean? Are you just saying that? What's that mean? Exactly, Lizzo. But go to bed, go sleep with him in room 4. Because she wanted. So she sent them. This is what I want to know. What was going on in the beds that they were keeping her awake? Because she said to them when they were all in bed, oh, I need a decent sleep. So you're going to have to go up to room 4. What was going on in the bed? I know, Pink. Is it that one, Pink, where she's sitting on the couch? It's so terrible, blast. It's terrible. She just let it happen. She's got to be charged with something. She's thick. You can tell she's thick. She hasn't got. They just said her priority was him all the time. She never went to check out. They said you trusted him. He robbed money. He lied to his parents. She went, oh yeah, but that he didn't to me. And they must have felt like strangulating her. And he said, you trust all them things about that man. And yet when he come in and said he had to change his tyre, when he kept going missing and you thought it was a bit strange wondering where he was going, didn't you go out to check he'd even changed his tyre? She went, no, I never had a reason to not trust him or wonder. That's all she kept saying. He could go where he wanted whenever he wanted. It was fine. Wants to give her a good shake. Audio going over the interview. Yeah, well, I'm thinking now if she's going over the interview, she's already done that. So I'm starting to think, is it a new one? That alone should hold her accountable. Yeah, it should. I look at my 9-year-old daughter and can't imagine not protecting her, not being that detached from my child to not know if something was wrong. You'd pick up something, wouldn't you? You'd get, you'd be thinking, hang on a minute, I've just sent her to bed with my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend. Is that the right thing to do? Even if, oh God. But their grandmother and that all know about this? Because they're all as bad if they all knew that was happening. And what about that girl who told the police, but she didn't come forward straight away? Told the police that he said to her he slept with Madeleine and got a boner on, and that's when she didn't want to be with him anymore. But she never told anyone about it, so she knew he was sleeping with a kid, and that was what was happening. Why didn't she go and report that to the police right away? Exactly, bless mama. There is so many little girls as we're speaking now, and you know what? It was like the little girl next door. She comes in here for Saturday, and she absolutely idolizes Alec. He loves her, and he says, "Do you know what? It's the most terrifying thing." She was trying to take her clothes off, and he went, oh, he was getting all panicky. And I was saying, would you only be, oh, no, I don't like that. You need to phone her mum. So I'm phoning. I said, listen, she's taking the shit. Oh, she does. She went, listen, I trust you 100%. But you know what? You shouldn't. And I was made up. Do you know what I mean? I was made up because God doesn't bear thinking about. But you know what? It's like Alex says, you're scared to do anything. Where you pick her up or just anything like that. She just wants to sit and hold Alec and snuggle him. She snuggles him. She gets out, cups his face and everything. She literally loves him. And he's laughing now because she just sings to him. I might as well not be here. She calls him Taser. Taser! She shouts across the garden. He loves her. And boys too, yeah. What's that? Sadly, the name many girls in the same situation. Yeah, he also sleeps in. It's terrible. Terrible. I mean, years ago, I used to mind all the kids' rice and I couldn't wait because I literally thought I was a mother. I used to bath them and everything and put the pyjamas, change the nappies, everything. And now, you just feel horrible. You feel horrible. I know. Give him number 4. And yet she didn't even have her own room. She didn't have her own room because she wanted to sleep in that bed. And I bet you any money it was him that started to sleeping in that bed. How about that? I bet you she was in number 4. And then she was took out of there because he wanted to sleep with her. Wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to groom them to sleep with the two of them together. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Wouldn't be a surprise if that comes out. Yeah, she calls him Taser because he used to say to her, this is the only thing we think. He'd take her in, carry her home, knock at the door, and he'd go, we on. She wouldn't be clinging to him, didn't want to go in. And he'd go, see you later, Taser. So she just started calling him Taser. No, you wouldn't. Yeah, terrible. It is. It's just sick. Some sweet fucking, some sweet. I'm reading some sick fucks out there. I know, Lunchy, she adores them, absolutely adores them. She just wants to sit. The two of them sit, eating ice cream, watching the telly, watching a film, and she's as good as gold. Good as gold. She just lives to dance. We put the music on the telly for her and she's dancing and she says, Taser, come on. Taser's knackered by the time she goes home. Taser, give what she say, Alex, swing me.
Yeah, she swing around.
Swing me, Taser. So Taser's swinging it all around the living room Taster has to sit down on the floor because Taster's going dizzy. And then she goes, I'm going dizzy. I go, sit down, sit down. Then he lies down on the couch for the rest and she jumps right on top of him, arms around him, hugging him. Oh, honest to God, she absolutely saw. She was 3 the other day, so we got a little karaoke machine. Said to her mum, what can we get her? She went, well, I'm just looking at this karaoke machine now. And she said, I can't think. I went, can I get it or do you want to get it? She went, no, you can get it if you want. So we brought her in. She opened the presents and she was made up. Oh, she made up. I got her a blanket with pumpkins on. Oh, you think you're giving the whales. She pumpkin mad. The first thing she would say was, Happy Halloween. That's when she was a baby. And her mum took her around the houses, for Halloween. So we said to her, oh, guess what's coming soon? Halloween. Halloween's coming soon.
Not you.
Oh, it's coming. And she'd go, oh, Happy Halloween. So she's made up. I got her a big pumpkin off Temu last year. And she's made up the big pumpkin because it's in a cot with her. It was in the cot, but she's in a little bed now. But she's gorgeous. We love her. She's the nearest thing because we're going to get to a grandchild, I think. But yeah, she is cute. Loves Halloween. She's so funny. So funny. So what are you going to do? What time is it for you now? Bless Mama. She's gorgeous, Pink. Gorgeous. I'll have to show you a little. Oh, I haven't got you, have I? On Messenger. You have to try and get me on Messenger if you're on it. Jessie, have you been out for a wee wee? If you go out for a wee wee, you can have a biscuit. And guess what's tomorrow, Jess? It's Bone Saturday. She gets a bone of a Saturday. Bone Saturday. She's looking at me. Wish you could see her face. She knows everything you're saying. So lunch is 5:18 p.m. Bless her, Mama. It's 5, so it's the same. So one of your clocks are wrong. Don't fight over that. Go and eat some dinner and have a fire in the backyard. Oh, God, I wish we could have. If we had a fire in the backyard, we'd set the fucking estate up in smoke because the houses are that close. The whole place would go up. Yeah, bonus Saturday for Jessie. Mine's wrong. There you go, Lunchy. Yours is wrong. Oh my God. Tell you. Oh, I hope there's some of our Grizzlies I haven't seen. I go to bed listening to that. But I can tell you now that I'll last 10 minutes because my eyes are burning. I haven't been sleeping this past week at all. My sleep has been demented. I've been waking up to go to the toilet, and then by the time I get back from the toilet, I'm wide awake. And it's only round the corner. Then I get into bed to put my earpods back in, listen to the So-So Case again, over and over, in case I've missed anything. And I fall asleep and I wake up and it's at the end. And then I go to the toilet again and it just repeats all the time. Or I wake up and I'm roasting. Oh, God. But I'm tired. I'm literally only having a couple of hours sleep a night. But don't worry, kids. Alex got to fix that painting tomorrow. The painting that the fella all smudged outside. He's got the paint stripper, isn't it? Oh, did the paint stripper come? Oh, come. Thank God. Hope the couch is here. Hey, do you mean me, Pink? Oh, my couch is real leather. It's as old as it's sort of Victorian age, isn't that old? I love my couch though. I've had it years. But oh yeah, it's leather. Got it from where'd you get it? It's SCS. Yeah, I think I got it from SCS. Yeah. It's can't believe I've got leather seats in the car. I told everyone the faux leather when I've talked about them. Are you sure they're leather? Swear down. I'm going to look, has it got a sticker on it anyway? I don't think it is, you know.
I'm fairly certain it is.
Now, you look in that manual, I bet you they're not leather seats. I'll put my life on it. Have they given you tablets for that, Maggie? What am I getting tablets for, girl? For not sleeping? I
For your
won't
leather
say.
seats.
Shut up, you, for me leather seats, he's saying. No, I wouldn't take sleeping tablets. I only take my medication for my bones and my pain. I take it for that and then I have the patch on. Oh, now when I think about it, like a bit of a chemist, like a pharmacy on legs, aren't I? I take 9 in the morning. And they want to put me on others. I've told them I'm not going on them. And I don't like them statins. Oh no. They give you terrible pains in your legs. Don't like them. For the sweats. For the sweat. Yeah, I'm on the patches. They don't work. And they put them up. They put me on a patch and a tablet, which was the highest I could go, and they don't work. So it says, well, if it's not working, take me off it, but leave me on the patch because it's supposed to be good for women in menopause for the bones. Because I'm osteopenia. I'm just going into osteoporosis, they said. Oh my God, I won't be able to move. My bones will be breaking. I said to Alec, I'm going to be sitting here one day just ahead, because every part of me is no good. And I'll be sitting reading to use. I'm going to find another book you haven't read. I'm going to make it dead exciting. I'm going to get a proper narrator's voice. And I'm going to talk out that book. You won't even know it's me. You're going to say, oh my God, Maggie, are you serious? That was you. You sounded amazing. Which ways on the next book, I'm going to get better. Bless you, Maggie. I need blessing. I need it, Pink. Listen, Pink, if you want to go over and listen to the Grizzly, don't you be staying here. Go and listen to Grizzly. I'm just talking crap to yous. I'm going to get off in a minute. I'm just having my cup of coffee. You have a perfect reading voice, Maggie. Oh my God, Gail. I just wish I knew the big words and them Spanish names of the streets. No chance. Not even Spanish. What is it called? I was going to say Japanese then. What is it called? Portuguese. That's it. Check that step, Alec, and make him go down and clean if that dog shit's on that step. Let's see what it says on the back of this book. If it says anything, hang on. It says on the back of this book, listen to this. It's a sad fact that not a single police force anywhere is proactively looking for Madeleine, as is the case for many missing children. Oh, isn't that awful? I'm sure this book will re-energise the search for our daughter, and the public will get behind the Find Madeleine campaign once again. It is simply not acceptable that the authorities have given up on Madeleine, especially when no comprehensive review of the case has been undertaken. Our daughter and whoever took her are out there. We need your help to find them. Oh, that was Kate MacCann. Terrible, isn't it? I imagine getting into bed, right? Your mind must just go. As soon as you've got a minute, your mind just must go there. You must lie there. This would be me. This would be me. Say it was winter and you're cold and you're in the bed and you're cold. Can't wait to warm up. My mind is going to be going to my kids lying somewhere cold. I just couldn't bear it. No, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm going to bed anyway. I'll have a nosy later. Shattered. I'm shattered, girl. Absolutely the best reading voice. I think it makes it more. I can't believe you love a Scouser reading to you. I know. Just couldn't be. Just be thinking about lying there. You're all warm, or like she said. I get that 100%. You just don't know. You can't be happy because it feels so wrong. To laugh or. I mean, the poor kids in that way. I mean, as much as she's kept them away from all that, and people have tried to, take them to these creches in the place and stuff like that, they mustn't have been able to have been the parents they were going to be with them kids. I think the kids have lost out a lot in that way. I'm not saying they've been neglected, but I just think because of their feeling of guilt of not being able to do it for Madeleine, that when they're doing nice things for the children, they can't do it wholeheartedly, if you understand what I mean. Jessie, you get a biscuit when we go up in a minute? Okay, wish you could see, I wish I could turn this so they could see you. Who's my little girl? Who's my little girl? Who's my baby? Who's my life? Come here, you, me little life. Oh, look at her. Come here, me little life. How do I turn? I wish I could put this camera on. Show that baby. I love her. I love the Scouser, Maggie. I never had a problem understanding you at all, even when you were talking super fast and screaming with Alec. Oh my God, Scousers, I tell you. When we get going lunch, I tell you, I find it, with Scottish people, when they start talking to each other, they're really fast and hard to understand. So I understand when people say, Maggie, slow down. Because Melly Jo, when I'm talking on panel with Leanie, she goes, Maggie, you're going fast today. So we have to break it in, slow it down. I watched the film, then read the book. I nearly smashed the telly. Made me so angry. What was that? Lovely. Oh my God, I'm sure I've watched that. Lovely Bones. Oh, was it dead sad? Was it about a kid going missing? I'm sure I've seen it. I've seen that, Alec. Get it up and show me out, because I have seen it. I know for a fact I have. I love your accent and your humour. Oh, Pink, I'd love to hear yours. Are you here to lunch, ladies? Oh my God, she reminds me of it. She just reminds me sitting there with sunflower shines, a proper country girl. I love it.
Susie, a 14-year-old girl, is murdered by her neighbour, Harvey. She refuses to move on from purgatory, saying she has unfinished business and continues to watch.
Oh my God, don't tell me anymore. Let me see the picture. I've seen it.
And continues to watch over her family.
All right, carry on now. I've seen it. I've definitely 100% seen it. I was probably crying my eyes out. Alec thinks it's dead funny when I cry, because I just all of a sudden, I just all of a sudden put my hands to my face and sobbed, don't I, Alec? I can't get anything out of face, nothing comes out, and then I'm just gone. I can't stand it. What's that? Oh, underground dig house. Is that another one? Dughouse, underground dughouse or dughouse. Have you got any good stuff to watch? We're especially winter coming now. We need loads. Have you got that out? No? Maybe. Oh no. What she's saying to me. She was underground and had to get dig house. I'm thinking it's the name of a book now. I'm thinking, oh. See me, I never get it right. She's telling me what's happening, and I'm thinking she's telling me it's the name of a series or something. I read a book once about a woman who tended a graveyard, and she could hear the people talking to each other in their graves. It was a good book. I'll ask my sister what it's called. Oh, wouldn't mind watching it as a film. I couldn't read the book. I'd be terrified in bed. The film that makes me sob uncontrollably is Marley and Me, the dog. Oh my God. When it comes to a dog, Pink, Have you seen, I might say this wrong, Haichi, and it's, what's his name? Richard Gere. Tell me, has anyone seen Haichi? Richard Gere? Gilmore Girls. Is that the series with the, the Gilmore Girls? Is that the say? I'm sure. Oh no, it's not because you don't know it because you've watched it with me. I want to read that book to us, Maggie. The Graveyard. Oh God, you want me to read it? I'll get it up on the I'll get it up on the Kindle and read it to you if you want for Halloween. Is it scary, Lunchy? Have you seen Haichi? Come on, Haichi. Richard Gere is the main actor in it, the main character. That's my favourite show. They talk so fast. The Gilmore, isn't that the ones who are funny we watch? It's the Scottish, the Gilmore Girls.
That's Derry Girls and the
Oh, the
Irish.
Derry Girls and the Irish. What's Gilmore Girls? I've seen that. Is it on Netflix? I'm sure I've seen it. Got a cold sore. Oh, got a getting a cold sore on my lip. Fucking bit of sun, and here we go.
Gilmore Girls. It's a drama series that looks very much like something you'd watch.
Oh, it looks like something I'd watch, not him. I'll watch that, the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, shite the old die in the end.
Right, it's intriguing. I'll have to ask my sister what it's called though. It was years ago. Oh, find out, Lunch, and I'll see if I can get it on me phone because I've got the Kindle on my phone. That'd be good. I've got that Fritzl one. I've got that. I've got all sicko books to be honest. Alex says, God, I hope the police don't ever come this house and go through your book collection. I got rid of all my books. I've only got a few now. I want to read the book. Yeah, 'cause I'll look at the books and you can see if you want me to read any. If I had on my Kindle, I'd lend you it on there. Let's see what I've got on my phone. Hold on a minute. You might like some of these. Mind you, you probably won't. Hold on. Now, how do I get to that on here? Do I just put Kindle? Oh, yeah, there it is. A kid. Click on the Kindle, start reading. Oh, it's going to ask me to thingy in and I can't. I haven't been in it for years. Oh, yeah, let me get in. So, yeah, I believe this one's terrible about abuse. It's called The Hospital, right? And this is, oh, well, let's see what it says. God. Monday, the 9th of January 1995. The rush hour traffic snakes back as we inch forward, nose to tail, and make our way along the road. Stop, start, stop, start. I turn the heating up. The condensation drips from the front of the windows. There are smudge marks against the glass where I've tried to rub it clear. The car heater suddenly kicks into life, stealing our breath away as I chat to my friend in the passenger seat. Reckless teenagers run across the road, darting in between the cars as I pull on the handbrake for the umpteenth time. Car fumes build up outside as our exhaust pipes pumps grey chemical clouds out and up into the air. What's this? Oh, hang on, that's the prologue. Chapter 1, The Tinker's Daughter. I'm going past that one, see what else I've got. The Deceived. Oh, that looks scary. Some stories are hard to read, let alone write. It doesn't mean they should not be told. This book was one of those stories. The memoir chronicles my investigation into a devious religious cult of child sex abuse. To ignore, avoid, or pretend such events do not occur is not helpful to the victims, potential victims, or society in general. Awareness is the first step to healing and protecting victims, and ultimately bringing perpetrators to justice. Extreme details of this case have been left out. All that is important to know is that the events happened. Oh, God, that's going to be terrible, I can tell. It's going to be terrible, that one. That's called The Deceived. Then I've got The Midwives of Loch Lane about the olden days. Lynn Andrews, The Liverpool Match Girl. Christmas Stories. Lynn Andrews, A Moment in Time. There what my son got when he was younger. Galaxy of Heroes and blah blah. Let's go past that. Crochet Stitches. I forgot I had them.
It sounds like an interesting.
Does anyone have watched that Mob Wives? I used to love the Mob Wives. Angela, my name Big Ange. Loved it. Did you ever read any of the Joan Jonker books? Oh, that rings a bell. That rings a bell, that Pink. I forget what I've read. I used to read years and years ago, way before I had my son. I used to go to bed with a cup of tea every night. I drank tea, then not coffee. And I'd get down with my book. I smoked as well. To have a little ciggy and doing the actions. Sit there like that. Getting dead excited that ciggy would be going down 10 to the dozen. Loved it. A Court of Thorns and Roses. I just go, where it says don't judge a book by its cover. I do. If the title looks good, I'll get the book. Liverpool Maggie, During the War, Nellie and Molly. Have you got that one? Oh, Mob Wives is brilliant. I read all of Elizabeth Berg books. They used to be so good. I even talked to her on Facebook and I was tickled to death. I would love to write a book. I've written stories, but I don't know how to outline a book. But doesn't someone do it for you? You don't. I just think someone does it for you. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Because how could you write it so perfect like that? Imagine me writing. I can't do grammar or nothing. So let's see. Where's I'm gone? Where's the rest of my books gone? The Wrong Sister. Oh, what's his name? Erich might be interested. The Wrong Sister. Well, is he married? He was married, not married. Erich Freshcorn. Your battery is running low. Plugged in, isn't it?
No.
Don't you shake your head at me. How did I know it wasn't it?
Because the light's not on.
Do I know this computer, this laptop? No. I'm looking at people. I'm talking to people. You have here. You should do it, lunch. You should do it. Oh no, Eric's got a girl now. I was just going to say, I'm going to have to find Eric a little girlfriend. But he's got one now, hasn't he? Oh, made up for him. Everyone should have someone. Should all have someone. I hate the thoughts of people being lonely. I think it must be the worst thing ever. Nice. Okay, so from Liverpool with Love, Lynn Andrews. Let's have a click on that and see what that says. Oh, download sample. Let's have a look. Oh no. Liverpool, 1922. There's nothing else I can do, Ada. I'm at my wit's end. We're destitute. Ellen Shaw shook her head as tears once again filled her eyes. It was so painful and shaming to have to admit it. Ada Ellis, her close friend and neighbour, could only sadly nod in agreement. Everyone was poor in Gill Street. Times of hard work for dock labourers such as her husband Fred was always in short supply, and with 6 mouths to feed was a constant struggle to make ends meet. Poor Helen. Although she only had one young Jane and Alfie, the daily battle against poverty had finally come to an end. She had been defeated. It was now 9 months since Ellen's husband Eddie had been killed. He'd slipped on an oil spill on the deck of the ship on which he'd been helping to load cargo, tripped over the hatch cover, oh God, and fallen head first into the partially empty hole to his death. You laughing at Alec? They'd all been devastated by the news, but Ellen had been utterly distraught. Oh, there's been great regret expressed by everyone at the tragic accidents, condolences received from the foremen and bosses, and even a letter from the owners of the ship. Ada put her arm around her friend as a gesture of comfort, but there was very little else now she could do to help. You'll stay and share this bit of scouse with us. Oh, they're having scouse. You'll stay and share this bit of scouse with us, she stated firmly, thinking that at least from now on, Ellen and her family would get 3 meals a day, which might help put some weight back on her friend's thin frame. Ellen could only nod at her sense of despair. She felt tired, and so very tired. As Ada busied herself with the pan of vegetables that had been simmering on the verge of instructing her family to sort themselves out and get up to the table. Oh, well, there you go. There's Ada and Nellie. Slaughter and Andrew. What's them other ones? Do you remember Lunchy? What did I say? Oh, the ones that we were reading when we first came out about the kids. Oh, Flowers in the Attic. Did you read that, Lunchy? Flowers in the Attic, you'd be crying your eyes out. Yeah, I think she should. I think you should, Lunch. You'd be great because let's be honest, you can do a song in 2 minutes flat. You should. What was that? Oh, my phone skipped backwards. I was commenting on Alec. But what was you saying about him? Yeah, he just laps in the background. Yes, I read all of those. Was way too young to be reading those all. Has you read the 50 Shades of Grey? Listen to this. I went the Asda Right supermarket. Everyone was talking about this book, and I thought, oh, I want to get this book, right? So I goes and I sees it. I thought, I felt a bit embarrassed putting it in the trolley. So put it in the trolley in between the tins of beans and the tins of peas, right? I swear down on my life on a plane. I heard, Mummy, what was the word he said? And I dragged the book out of his hands dead quick. He was reading it. And I went, give me that book. He went, no, I like it. And I went, and this woman looked and she started howling, laughing. And I went, oh my God, I felt so bad because my son was reading 50 Shades of Grey and he was about 3. No, he must have been about, how old was he when he started reading? He had the book in his hand. He was about 5, 4 or 5, and he was reading. Oh my God. I went, give me, so this one went, oh my God, you like this 50 Shades? I went, he's just took that out of the basket. I said, I've just bought that. It's a present for me mates. Didn't know what to say. And he went, Mummy, I want to read that book. Please let me read that book. I said, don't you dare. So I read that, and then I went out and got the second one and the third one. Oh my God, I couldn't get over what I was reading in the book. It was porn. Swear down, it was porn. I've read porn book. I've read a porn book. Just didn't have the pictures, but the pictures were in my mind, and they were bad enough. I'm telling you. Bought them, never read them. Pink, get reading them, girl. And then the film come on. I was awful disappointed in Christian Grey. They could have got a better one than him. Christian Grey, to me, was, he had dark hair, blue eyes, lovely thick dark lashes, lovely lips. He had a nice body on him, not dead muscular. And I could see him pictured in my mind with Anastasia. And she was gorgeous, but she was plain because that it makes that it tells you that she's plain. And when he come on that fucking screen, Christian Grey, I thought, hang on, he can't be Christian Grey. So we run it back, and he was Christian Grey. I wanted to scream at the telly and go, "You've just ruined that now." So I phoned our door and I went, "Oh my God, have you seen Christian Grey?" She said, "Don't even go there, I'm devastated." I couldn't get over it. The film was not unlike the book's always better. Always. Alex said, "Read that to him tonight." Lunchy said she'll read that to you tonight, Al. I'm saying you said it. The 50 Shades of Grey. She said she'll phone you and read it to you.
You're all right.
Your sound, she said.
Yeah.
It's going up for a shower now.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice and clean and tidy if you're in line there on the bed while you read some 50 Shades of Grey.
For about 18 seconds until I fall asleep.
For about 18 seconds till he falls asleep, and he's not lying. He doesn't even get 18 seconds. Look, she's going, "Not me, Maggie." Shut up, I knew you meant me, but I just said you.
Give me phone number.
Yeah, we already said it's all right. Give him my phone number. I'll give you his phone number. I'll message you in a minute. You got me snorting. Don't forget to watch your back, princess. That's what I need you to do for me. Talking about that pink and made up, I need you to get that scrubber and scrub my back. I need exfoliating all down the back of my arms and down my back. I want you to make me red raw. Scrub it.
Should I get the sander?
Get the sander, but do you know what he does right now before we go away? You better get that sander out. Do you know what I get him to do? Sand my face. I'm not messing. Can't bear it. It's any skin. So he stands, it is up the neighbours now. I go sand them feet, and he sands the feet for me, right? And puts cream, lovely conditioner. What is it? Not conditioner. What's it called? Nice cream on my feet anyway. It makes them all, it hydrates them all. And put a pair of little socks on and sleep with them. Get up the next day and my feet are like babies. I swear I get my feet. No, not with the pedeg. The pedeg's no good. I get the proper electric sander. What you do on wooden furniture. That's what I use. 2 seconds, it's done. The pedeg takes a week. This takes 2 seconds. Round the edges of your feet. Oh, lunchy. Your feet are amazing. So throw some nice cream on, like petroleum jelly, whatever you want, Vaseline, and then throw your socks on and then take them off the next day and wait to see your feet. I've got all the neighbours wanting to do it because they see my feet. I've seen the pedeg one. Oh, it's a natural sand. Is it lecky? I had the lecky one, and it's about 2 inches, and the thing goes round. That's not strong enough for me. I didn't like it. I didn't say back. I said, what's that? I'm going to put Astroglides on mine. Oh my God. Yes, I've just seen that. Bone and Alec. Don't forget to wash your balls. He's gone. I say that when he comes out. I go, "Did you wash your balls?" And behind your ears, he goes, "Yes, mother." And he gets into bed. I go, "Have you brushed your teeth?" He goes, "Yes, mother." My toes are long as fingers. But you can you pick things up with your toes? My son picks things up with his. Why's your tail between your legs? Oh, I don't like that. Why's your tail between your legs, Gail? Wait the minute, Bubble. What's the matter? Oh, why's your tail down? Oh, it's popped up a bit now. I always think there's something wrong with it if the tail goes between the legs. That's what you should have shouted him the other night. Oh my God, honest to God. Oh, I'm going to swig this coffee now, hang on. Oh, don't. I'd know if she did, she'd be shaking like a leaf. Shaking like a leaf. Jessica, are you waiting for your biscuit, aren't you? I'm coming now, look at me, finished. Coming now. So I have to turn this light off, like, that'll be good. Oh, imagine if she shits on the couch. Oh, go. Do you know what? That smell will live with me till the day I die, I think. Never smelt anything up my nose. I didn't smell nothing at first until he said, Mum, what's that smell? And I come to my nose and I looked, see the windows open, so outside. Oh God, so many screams that it was diarrhea. I wondered if your car is still stinking. It's been scrubbed. The car has been scrubbed. That seat, I'm telling you, has been scrubbed to death. She had a bed in here that I was going to wash it and rehome it. So now it's in the car, just a little round bed. Yes, it was the Maggie and Comedy Guild Entertainment. Only that could happen to me. A shit like that on the back seat. It's not just a normal one, a diarrhea one. I don't know, girls. I don't know. Well, I'm going to love yous and leave yous because I'm going up to bed. I've got to wash myself. I'm not getting a shower. I had one this morning. I only get it of a morning unless I'm really sweaty to death, if it's been a hot day or whatever. But I'll go and get a wash and brush my teeth and get changed into bed. And I'll be listening for 2 minutes to Grizzly and I'll be gone. So, once again, it was lovely to have you here with me, support me by my side, hold my hands as you do, because otherwise I'd be just talking to a black screen and I'd probably still carry on in case anyone was in the bushes wanting to listen. You're going to go soak in the tub. Go on, girl. You have a good night. Love you, girl. Oh, so are you, Pink. So are you. Love you, girl. Good night and God bless everyone. Have a good day. Good night. Lizzo, do you know what? I was thinking before, I was just going to shout you, and I thought, you know what? Lizzo might have just got off and had a little nose around, or you fell asleep. Sorry, girl, I get so involved with the chat. Thanks, Liz, for coming in. You're a diamond. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm doing all the hundreds for you there. All the hearts. Sending you all hearts. What are them hearts for, by the way? Are they to send to the people in chat, or do they do anything? I don't understand it. I don't understand none of it. What I'm sending. I love you all. Good night and God bless, Liz. Thanks very much for being here. I'm so sorry. It must have seemed I was ignoring you, and I really wasn't. I'm in my own world. I really am. Love you, Lizzo. Thanks, Gail. Pass my regards over to Beth as well, Gail. I haven't spoke to her for a few days. Well, it's been a while, actually. Take care, love. Speak to you tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Pink Fan. Have a good night, Gail. And you, Lunchy. Enjoy the rest of your night. All Irish, good night and God bless, Gail. We're all getting off now. I'm all red out. I went to now Liz, hang on a minute. We've heard about you blocking these toilets. I went to the loo and all I could hear was sanding. Liz, I do sand me feet. Well, Alex sands them with the lucky sander. He really does. Zzz, so you hear. You know the little tiny ones, the cheap one out of August? Oh, I got that for my feet. I can't be bothered with them pedgies. No, I'd rather have them smooth, then the cream put on, and then the sounds. I do them 2 days before I go away. Oh yeah, feet are lovely. Telling you, I'm gonna start a little phase here. Everyone will be doing it. Because why does he put ice cream? He doesn't put ice cream on. He puts, what is it called, Liz? Come on, Pink, help me out. What is it you put on your feet? Moisturiser. Moisturiser. He puts loads of moisturiser all over my feet, and then I put my socks on and go to bed. And then you wake up, whip them socks off, and your feet are gorgeous, Liz. You want to have your feet out? Amazing. The worst thing for your feet is flip-flops, because that bang, and when they go, like when you walk and they flip-flop, that banging hardens your skin because it's protecting your foot. The shopper just told me. Because I said, I'm sick of it. I look after my feet. I wear these flip-flops to keep my feet cool. Blah, blah, blah. He said, they're the worst things to wear for getting hard skin. I said, how's that? And that's when he told me the banging sensation where the flip-flop, whatever. That's what it causes hard skin. I love me flip-flops. I live in me flip-flops. Live in them. Or sliders. Hate me feet covered up. Can't bear it. My best is to be a nothing. Bare feet all the way. Listerine is supposed to be good for the feet, so I heard that, you know. I'll be honest, I've got them. Probably say that wrong as well. Yeah, I've got them. He ordered a pair of them as well, like a tangerine colour off eBay. There was a sale. Oh yeah, I love me flip flops. Can't stand being. I love bare feet. Just put me in. You know when I went to the cemetery, cause I'm bad on my legs. Now I was walking on the grass and there's all like little holes and ditches, and you're like, oh, dead unsteady. So whip me sliders off and walked in my bare feet, and I was sound. Can't stand it. Can't stand it, Pink. Don't like being wrapped up. Oh, I've got Quick Shop Disney. I've got all kinds, Lisa. I only get a decent pair to go away. But I'll wear any flip-flops, me. I'm only a little small piece. So all the ones that fit me are Disney princesses. And they all go, oh, look at them. And I go, don't even go there. Just try them on. I go, just F off. All turn up with fluffy fluffy slippers for me. Oh my God, Steve, Alex laughing. What are they like? Putting all kinds of slippy slippers. I can't even get my words out. Slippy slippers, Oh, so what was I going to say?
Fluffy flippers.
Oh, fluffy slippers. That's it. Couldn't get that word out. Oh my God, I hope I'm not losing it. So Pink said Listerine's supposed to be good to soak your feet in. I have heard of that before.
Use the sander.
I know. I'm the same. I'm the same. And I've got cubes at the top of my stairs. These put the shoes or the boots in, whatever. So they can only fit one pair in each. I've got about 10 pairs of mine in one square because my feet are that small. Flippers. They cause my feet flippers. Right, I'm going to go, girls. Good night and God bless. Go and get your Santas out and sort your feet, girls. You won't look back. Get your moisturisers on them and sleep in a pair of socks. That's the only part I don't like, sleeping in a pair. So I got the cotton ones, little tiny cotton socks, because I can't be bearing I couldn't wait to sleep at all when I wear them, because I can't bear to be, my feet held in them. So get your sandals out and whip that skin off and have feet like babies' skin. Gorgeous. Good night and God bless everyone. Love yous and thanks for being here with me. See you tomorrow. Probably, might be on tomorrow. Saturday. Might do Sunday. Yeah, it'll be Sunday. It won't be on tomorrow. It's me treat night tomorrow. I eat to death and watch me telly. So it won't be on tomorrow. It's going to be Sunday, girls, for the next part. Thanks very much. Love yous all. I have said it 10,000 times, and we'll all be dreaming of peace and Santas. Good night and God bless. Bye all. These feet are made for walking, 'cause that's just what they do. One of these days these feet are gonna walk all over you.